Live didn't work so good, huh? Thank you, Mr. Evan, for the heads up. Let me sure things are going in the right direction here. See how it works. Hope everybody's doing great. I was trying to do something on like kind of like the economy. You know, the last one. This one I just fired away. Forget it. I think we're live. Are we live? We're live. It sounds like Evan's there, so that's good. That's a good sign. This thing still hasn't refreshed. What is going on? Just making sure everything's working out. Get a thumbnail, you get a title, and it's doesn't work at all. Anywho, I hope you're all doing great. I might jump back over into the vehicle to technical difficulties. See, this is why, right? When people do videos, right? TV and video, think about how many times they retake, action. So Evan, since you're here, what is new? How are things going? Have you been doing anything? Have you been working? Getting any jobs lined up? It's been kind of slow, kind of busy, kind of like crickets. I need some data. I'm looking for some data out there. Ooh, I see it on here. I'm looking at the computer. So Evan's got, he says, did an extension. No. Low battery. Like I said, we have to jump back over in the truck. So did that extension spring job Wednesday. Quite a learning experience. I can't remember. Did you just replace the extension springs? I see Sky's here. What's up, Sky? It doesn't look, I was looking at the calendar. The calendar doesn't look like it was too busy last week. This week looks like it's kind of about the same. Ooh. Oh, he's got cheers. I'll give you a cheers when I get back. I got my drink out in the truck. So I hope you've been doing good. Still rocking the Ford Ranger there, Sky? So it was on a cheap Home Depot Clopay door. Far as I remember, so we got the Menards, right? We got the box store Menards. And we also have Home Depot. And they're basically the same, right? Because they're Clopay. And I didn't realize that one time. I kind of screwed that up. So I remember it was something on color. Customer came in. They were really dead set on a color. I've already had my butt spanked many a times on it. Hey, thanks. We got 2 likes. Thank you guys for hitting the like button, by the way. So they were just dead set on this color. And I get the shakes. Right, I get the shakes when people want to match up their front doors or the color, and they're so stringent because I'm like, I'm not painting your whole house if my garage door doesn't match it, you know. And my garage door costs $2,000 to $5,000 to $8,000, you know what I mean. And I'm not returning it; it's a special order. And so I remember this lady came in. She was very, like she already knew. She's like, but the one at Home Depot matches, but yours is a. We were doing Wayne Dalton. She was like, yours is a hair off. And I was like, Uncle Dave's got this. So I said, you know what? I said, I would purchase the door, honestly. I said, I would purchase the door through Home Depot. And I said, I'd have us install it. And she goes, okay. She goes, I can do that. So that worked out really good, right? And I thought, hey, we're not out the money for the garage door. If the color's not right, I can go, ooh, I'm really sorry to see that. That's not on me. Go back to Home Depot. Maybe they'll give you a full refund. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just a laborer. And so I remember I get there to show up at the job, and it's got those easy set springs. And this is before I'm Rich B. Oh, Rich B guy, he told me about spraying. So that's one thing too. If you're kind of new, right? Spray the inside of that plastic tube on those easy set springs. So far, I almost want to believe it's not what makes it, but it does make it. So far, as many as I've installed, which is not a lot, probably under 10, just under 10. They don't squeak anymore. But they used to have this weird squeaky noise that you spray the outside, you spray the rollers, spray bearings, you can't get it right. And so, anyways, I show up there, and I remember I'm like, as soon as I come into the garage, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like, they got easy set springs. Oh, how did I not think of this? I was like, I should have told her to get torsion spring. Oh, I feel so bad. And I was like, well, I got to run with it. Like, I don't have time to explain it to her and do all this and refund. And the day is already set up I got half the day, 3/4 of the day to be here to do this job. So I did the best I could. And sure enough, of course, as it always goes, right, the doors up and down. She comes out, she says something about I hook it up to her opener. And she's like, why is it so noisy? And I said, yeah, I said, unfortunately, these are kind of that way. You know what I mean? It's just kind of the build of them, the build quality. So, let's see here. Was on the cheap. Slow. So Sky's got slow. Yeah, it's. I don't know what's going on. I really don't. Like I said, it might be just kind of that kind of year. We might not see some action until next year. Has anybody also noticed? I got a question for all you out there. Has anybody noticed more? It can be in any other business too, right? There's a lot of businesses that have started in general, right? Have you noticed a lot of small businesses started? People chucking a truck, blah, blah, blah. I mean, have you noticed, like, you guys ever do some Google search and kind of look at your area and go, man, I don't remember seeing that one or two or three. Maybe in your demographic, your area. Let me know in the comments. Guy had some more installed door springs, didn't have the safety cables installed. The springs were dangling. Ooh. When the door was open. Ooh. Uncle Dave. That's right. You like that? What did we get? Oh, we're at 6. Thanks for the likes too. Ooh. The door. What's he got on here? He says, have you ran across China Direct special full view glass aluminum doors? They are pure junk. He says they use sheet metal screws to hold them together. Oh, not all thread like Haas and other use. I didn't know that. That's good to know. I helped a gentleman, Josh, down in Indiana, unload a semi of them. And, it was like a long box truck. It had a semi attached to it, but it wasn't a full-blown 50-foot, whatever they are, 52-footer. Just a box truck with a little truck pulling it. And, oh my gosh. I think he had to buy like 10 of them minimum. He already had a customer, I think, lined up that was going to buy 1 or 2 of them for sure, maybe 4. I don't remember exactly, but the packaging on them was horrendous. I mean, the thinnest of the thin boards. I know he said there was some things. He said they kind of went together okay, but it seemed like he wasn't like, wow, you know what I mean? And the problem is once they send it across the sea, I mean, it's like you got no tech support. You got no help if you got damage. Like, like they're going to send you one. Yeah, right. Probably not. So that's something I don't want to play with. You know what I mean? Like, because to me, this is how I think of it. If I'm dealing with a customer, let's say it's for like a bar or a restaurant or something, right? A high-end place, maybe not. Even if it's a house on a lake or something, normally those people are typically very, very picky. And a scratch, a dent, a ding, like I need full on, like, go to the dealer or whoever I bought it from and say, look, no. I just spent $5,000, $8,000, $10,000, $50,000, $100,000 with you. God darn it, you better make this right. You know what I mean? Like, and where you don't have that kind of pulling power when you're dealing with somebody over in the across the pond. Excuse me. It's been a long day. So I haven't quite installed them. I think there was like no pre-dimples on them too. There was just it was just not. I don't think he'll do it again. Let's just say that. Can't say for sure. Evans, guys, this is what lubrication do you use on ESET? White lithium. I use something. I always try to use something a little heavier than like the WD. I don't know if we got any more of this one stuff. Let me take a gander. See if the phone's gonna freak out again. Lights, action. Oh, I got some stuff back here that needs to go out. And I don't think they got any. I think they're all out. They got no lube. No looby dooby. Unless they're stashing it somewhere, I don't know. Need to order more lube. Yeah, I mean, you could use anything. Anything that's just slimy. I mean, you could probably use a white lithium, Like, I mean, this got picked up at the Home Depot or something one day. So that was for changing out springs. I always like the Service Spring product. They kind of got that one product that's the gel. You can really use anything that's garage door related. Just, you can just use that. You know what I mean? Like I said, anything a little heavier than a WD. Like you don't want to use this, like rear end fluid. That's a little too thick. Man, it's always so cold out here. Oh. Let's see here. It's kind of cool, like looking at the computer, I can see all this real nice. Real nice. And thanks for being here. Like I said, let me know what the economy's like in your area. Busy, any problems you guys have been having with products or garage doors or LiftMaster or Lanier or Genies. Evan's got a few side hustles I've noticed people started. Interesting. Matthew, he says, I would be interested in your thoughts on the economy, what you are seeing. Well, obviously it's one of those things. This is obviously, it's my opinion. This is, and you guys can let me know if it's the same in your area, but I've always heard, Muskegon, right? Muskegon, Michigan is the biggest small town. And there is some weight to that, but for some reason, I always feel like we see things before, right? Like we are so susceptible to the economy, at least in our area. It just seems like it can be it just can boom. Like when I've been out in Indiana, working with Josh and stuff like that, they're kind of on the rough side is kind of like our middle class side up here, so no matter what, unfortunately, I don't even know how it's going to quite change. I feel like I always tell myself we're going to pay, right? I mean, I get it, and we might be feeling the short-term pain right now for long-term gain. But the tariffs, I feel like no matter what, we are going to pay. Unfortunately, you know what I mean? And I think people are just going to have to stop consuming, honestly. I think people really got to quit consuming some of these really expensive vehicles. I'm just watching something today saying like, how this one guy was saying something about I wouldn't have anything out of warranty. I think it was $8,000 for a turbo on a certain vehicle. ridiculous amount of numbers, like 13,000 or something, or 32,000 something for something on a transmission. This stuff is ridiculous, man. Like a lot of this stuff is getting so bad that we can't fix it. When you think about like a Model A, like Henry Ford, where you could work on it, any general person with, some basic, farm skills could work on this stuff. So the stuff's just getting to be a little bit on the, I think, on the too techie side, so I just think, I think we just got to hold tight. I don't know if they'll actually let it go into a recession because they got the printer, right? The printer that goes burr. And I don't know. But I know that it's like, you can, one aspect, they say it's good. The other aspect, it's, I don't know if you're like me, but you can feel it. You just have that feeling where you go, yeah, I'm looking around at certain shops and, I mean, it's one of those things like I go, I don't feel like I'm flush with money. You know what I mean? Like I go, wow, and I got other resources out there that there's if the economy's going good, I'll get notifications. Let's just put it that way. And I've been getting like barely any. So it makes me kind of go, I don't think it's, but I mean, how can you blame anybody? Like I said, you go to a restaurant, you try to buy something, it's pricey, very pricey. Evan, tracks were too tight. The rollers didn't have a lot of play, but the customer said they were fine with it because they weren't planning on putting, they aren't planning on putting an opener. I know one thing too, you got to always watch with customers. Sometimes they're the ones that installed it, or they had a friend install it or a family member. So you always got to kind of watch, like if you just come in there like Tasmanian devil, go blah, 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 blah. Who installed this? They did such a horrible job. They're an idiot, so just something to always keep in the back of your mind. Ooh, what's this? Doors Gotti says a 14 section sag, 3 inches in the center. Holy cow, was that a brand new? Or what is this? I turned down the job. I did not want the liability because the manufacturer would not be liable because they were imported to, imported, no name brand. Wow. Dude, that's some sketchy stuff right there. Son of a biscuit. Evans guy says, I'll probably go pick up some Clopay spray tomorrow. Yeah, I mean, you can always, like I said, the box stores, they're fine. The garage door lube, I don't have any problem. It's always been kind of one of those things, like I've never, out of all the years, I've never came across a time where I needed to research garage door lube compared to engine oil, transmission oil, rear end oil, coolant for a vehicle. The garage door lube, I've told customers, even if they got WD-40, I'm like, throw some WD-40 on there once a year, and that's better than nothing. You know what I mean? WD. What's the WD stand for again? It's something. It's wicking, or it's water dilution, or distribute, or something. It's actually for water displacement. Yes, I think that's what it is. Water displacement is what WD stands for. I mean, you could probably too. Hey, Evan, you want to save a few bucks, man? You could probably order it offline too. Just an idea. Keeps the miles off the vehicle. Order some online, whatever you find, Try out a few bottles, you like it, order a few more. Skies Guy says, my brother had a full view door from China that the customer bought to save money. Nothing matched or worked. Ooh, sometimes trying to say money costs more. Amen to that. I don't like installing customers' products. Yeah, you know, I mean, I kind of get it. I kind of, you know, I guess it depends. You know, oh, we're gonna jump in the truck because we are dying on power here. Delete. Let's go like that. There you go. Whatever. I don't know what this is. Just go quiet on me, would you? Let's jump in the truck. We got a little bit of power out there. Oh, thought for sure the bathroom light was on. Is that dang old bathroom light? Ugh. All right, here we go. Now we're all nice and cozy. Might even fire up the truck. All right. Keys? What'd you do with the keys? I got keys. Oh, so that's what we were talking about. We're talking about somebody else's product. You know, it's kind of a good thing, kind of a bad thing. You know, I think if you do enough research on the customer's product, it's not a bad thing. You know, so I just had a customer reach out to me, I don't know, 3-4 days ago. And they were asking about something. And I kind of like, I'm like to that point, you know, like I'm kind of sometimes, based on that grumpy old man, right? So I just said, send me some pictures and I'll take a look and I'll see what I can do to get you like in the schedule or figure you out, you know. And they still haven't sent pictures. Not my problem. You know what I mean? Like I just go, oh, well, so well, you know what I mean? I just can't, but if I know what the product is like, especially if it's like a box store and I don't mind a certain product, I think it's kind of a blessing because when I show up there, right, if I go install it sometimes, right, and there's a dent or a scratch, I go, hey, Mr. Customer, where if it's my product, right, who's been there, right? Who's been there, right? You're installing something, right? It's been on order for 2 months or whatever. And then let's say you even got touch-up paint, I've done that before, right? You find that scratch and you're like, oh, no, don't, nobody come outside. Don't you let nobody come outside. You're touching it up, right? Making sure it looks good because you're like, oh, I do not want to come back and get another section and blah, 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 blah. So sometimes other people's products, you know, depending on what it is, especially if it's you, right? If you're chucking the truck. See, like when it's like for me, there's like no liability. Does that make sense? Because like I've been through it all. I'm going to take my time. I'm going to read the instructions if I have to. I'm going to be watching YouTube while I'm driving there. And if I don't know, and I'm going to take full responsibility, I'm going to know I did everything I could in my power. But if you have sometimes if what can be a failure in a sense or a problem, if you have employees and you send them out there to a product, now you got to do that question. Did they screw it up? Did they not know what they were doing? Are they not used to that product? Was it them? Was it the product? Was it, you know, like, so that's where that stuff gets in, like, you know, but if it was me, if I was a one-man band, oh, man, I would install, maybe not the Chinese, okay? Not the Chinese doors, the full view, especially with a 3-inch sag. Probably not. But I'd be game. I might crack into this. This was from one of the contractors. We had enough, so I didn't. This one. Anybody drink brisk? I thought there's no deposit on here or something. That's why my one of my family members always said, I just thought about trying it. I never had a brisk. It's big though, man. I don't need that much. Ooh, what is this? How many is this? It's a liter. Whew, I'll make you pee. All right, let's go back in here. Yep. It says, yeah, the LiftMaster carriage house opener, in my opinion, based on performance, sucks. Huh. The LiftMaster, huh? Mister, what are you up to, brother? I'm here talking to you guys. Hope you're doing good. Let me know what we're trying to get a feel for what the economy is out there. We got 8 likes too. Thank you guys for the likes. I'm gonna take a little sip here. Ooh, Kevin's guy says up labor rate on customers provided product. Yep. I don't think there's any, I don't think there's any problem with that. I mean, you obviously aren't going to mark your product up 10%, 20%, 30%, whatever it is. And then, so, sure, you want to, it could be a little more challenging or difficult. Like I said, I remember it wasn't too long ago. I had a builder guy. He's more of a concrete guy, but he's building to keep his guys busy in certain seasons of the year. And he bought a lumber yard, and it was kind of weird for a change because I was really in the business, hardcore hustling. Of course, this guy was like hired like 2 to 3 other guys that used to work for me that I canned, and the reason the last guy, he ended up going to jail, and I'm just like, ay. So he goes to jail. Then he's like, yeah, he's like, I need you to install this, so I do it, and I do it for our price, which I'm sure he's not happy about, but. It just felt weird. It was like I got out of the van. I got my cup of coffee, which I don't drink coffee, but I got my cup of something, water, drink, whatever it was. And I'm just like, kind of like looking around, like, damn, man, I feel naked. Like something's not right. Like I didn't load up a door this morning. I didn't have to like sandwich it between the two pivoting doors and make sure it's padding because, for heaven forbid that you get a scratch on it or a dent or scuff. So, and you got to strap it correctly. And I had to deal with the van door being open. Like I just got there and I the doors inside the garage, the opener sitting there in a box. This was on a brand new construction, so that is even better. So I'm just like sitting there, the sun's coming up, the birds are chirping, and I'm just kind of like, whew, man, it's gonna be a good day. And I started installing the door. I was nice enough. I took my garbage. I thought, well, I guess I could put it in the corner. Do I take the garbage or do I leave the garbage? Do I take the garbage or leave the garbage? I mean, this is kind of different for me. And I was like, yeah, I'll take the garbage. I mean, we got a dumpster. I don't want to be nobody else. I don't see nobody else that got a pile in here of garbage. So ain't no dumpster here. So I'll take my garbage. And it was nice. And there was a dent in it. And I called him. I was like, hey, just letting you know, there's a dent under the window section, which really sucks because the window section is expensive. And he's like, yeah, he goes, yeah, they come, every door has some kind of damage on it. He goes, that's fine. And I'm just like, whew. I go, well, it wasn't me. I see Rusty's in there. Ooh, Sky's got it. Says customer usually doesn't buy a product because is the right product for the application. Ooh, that could be. I think that's why, we just have to always be, including myself, because I still make mistakes, and we have to be diligent about pictures and confirmation. That's why I love a picture, right? Because if I see a picture, I was really, really close to so many times. I was worried I was going to get ratted out though, or the customer would be like, they never even came out, and their Lowe's would just freak out. But there were so many times I go to these jobs and I'm like, man, if the customer just sent me a couple pictures, I can basically tell, especially 10 years ago, whatever, we hardly ever came across an 18-foot wide door. Everything was always 16. So, I mean, you see the opening, you count the squares, you see the door, the existing door. I mean, it was like, I don't need to come out here and do a detail. I can tell by either I can have 12 or I can have 15-inch radius. That ain't going to bother this job. All I needed was a back picture inside the garage and one on the outside. Sometimes. Now, sometimes there was low headroom issues and stuff like that. But that's why if I got pictures, I just start off with pictures because I can tell so much by pictures. And I go, well, this job's going to be a little bit more complicated. And I'm going to start digging on the customer about things. What's always kind of crossed my mind a little bit, I'm surprised we don't see it. This is just way off topic here, but I'm surprised we don't see more online bookings for garage doors. Does anybody ever come across any online bookings or do any online bookings or practice or have seen anybody that does online bookings? Because I always think about it's kind of like the Amazon, right? We never talk to Amazon, right? We just make our orders, it shows up, we either refund it, blah, blah, blah. I'm surprised we're not seeing more garage doors turn into that for service calls and certain things. So I don't know, maybe that would be the future. Up the labor rate. Hope I didn't miss any. If I did, just put them back on there. ODST. Does anyone have a walkthrough video on the best way to set up and wind spring system that has a dual shaft with a coupler in the middle? I mean, I did the one, but I don't know if that's considered a, what is it? It says, does anyone have a walkthrough video on the best way to set up and wind systems that has the dual shaft? With the coupler in the middle. I mean, there was that one video I did, but I would say if I was even installing one brand new, I'd have to look at what the manufacturer. They did something with their plates though, and I seen they put reinforcement on there, so the plates were kind of dangling because I think they mounted them to the wall, and they also know that they're problematic. So you got to watch those plates. I think they did some angle and stuff up there, but I don't know of any good videos on them. That's for sure. They're kind of a bear. I mean, I'm not looking forward to when that day comes, like, especially the one customer we have when their springs break, because now it's like, do you tell them like, hi customer, we got to replace all 4 springs, not 2, 4. Evans guys says right now I just have the customer buy the garage door, and sometimes, you know what, that's not a bad gig, because I've had it before. It doesn't happen that often, but there's like that 25% of customers that I've literally, so like this is a great example, right? You got Evan that's gonna smoke me on prices, right? And then you got Uncle Dave here with the overhead. So I go to a customer, I bring him a brochure, right, of our products, Clopay, Wayne Dalton, whoever. And I've had this happen, right? And I go through and I try to explain to them, and then I normally try to give them prices. But I've had it where they'll call me later on and they go, yeah, you know, I was looking in the front of the folder, and there's some really nice looking doors. And I go, if you didn't like the price of what I kind of already gave you, or that insulated one too, you know, I'm just telling you, those prices are going to get $200, $500, $600 more. And they're like, oh, forget that. I'm not even interested. But sometimes they are, right? So you can spend a lot of time where, that's why I kind of would recommend, like, for like Evan, right? Or anybody else starting out that's just kind of doing the single, is that when you know, what you do is when you go through the manifest or whatever, go through the purchase order before they purchase it, if they can, if they will, and say, look, I want you to send me the detail, right? The on what's all there. So you can see the springs, you can see the radius of the track, all these things before they purchase it. So those are some good things to do, I think. But what I'm getting at is you're saving yourself a lot of background from, you know, basically having a secretary, having a vendor you got to call and get prices. There's so much stuff that adds up. See, that's all the stuff that people don't think about, that you're not getting paid for. You're spending 5, 10, 15. You go out there, you drive out there, you give them the brochure, you got to talk to them on the phone at 8 o'clock at night because they got your direct phone number, and you're like, yeah, what's going on? Well, we'd like to get this going as soon as we can. Of course you would, right? Because now your door's not working. And, you know, there's just so many things behind the scenes that a secretary is going to handle, you know, where they can go to the store and they can deal with it, and then they make their own purchase. That's not on you. They want to make a refund. Somebody passes away, something bad happens. They're not calling you saying, hey, can I get a refund? I didn't realize my car transmission went out, and it's going to be $30,000 to replace it because I got a brand new whatever it is. You know. What's up, guys? What's up, Rusty? Same process as tube shaft, just connect coupler at the end. Oh, maybe I overlooked it, so Kevin's on something. I think it was as 2 single spring doors. Oh. Is that what he says? Does anyone walk through the best way to wind up spring systems that have dual shafts? Oh, sorry, yes. Kevin, thank you for catching that. You're exactly right. Yeah, I do the same thing. It's really hard for people to understand that, but like when you do like a commercial door or whatever, I just wind up the one spring accordingly, right? Make sure you know what you got to put on there for turns, and then I just make sure your coupler didn't move on you, right? Wherever you want it to stay in the center. Tighten it, get your cable, make sure your cable's on, dump the spring basically. That'll pick up half the door. I do the same on the other side. I watch that coupler like a hawk, and then when I'm done, I set everything down. And then the couplers, I need them to be together. So normally I always give them kind of a jerk on the shaft before I lock the springs down. And set your spring or your cable in that. There you go. Dump that one. The door will actually, you could actually twist the door right at that point if you wanted to until you lock that center coupler. It's a little bit challenging. It's a little bit intimidating. But honestly, you know what? For somebody like ODST, you know, if it's something, if you got my number or you're going to get into a situation like that, dude, you can always like just pre-qualify me, right? Just get me like, say, hey, on this day around this time, like, are you around by chance? Like if I have to FaceTime or could I like text you or send you some pictures? I love that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? I'll help you through it as best I can. So just let me know. Justin's in the house. What's up, Justin? Ooh, installed my first, what is this, the RSL12? Customer had solar for power. Went through pretty easy, huh? But most of worked was mounting of the unit. That's interesting. I wonder, Justin, if you got any pictures of it, shoot me an email on it or something. That's the DaveA.Dubson@gmail.com. I typically put in the description below. I don't know if I did it this time because I had to restart this darn live stream and so otherwise you can shoot me a text or something. If you got my number, it'd be cool to see some pictures on that. I don't think I really know what that is. Evan's got a cup of something. Was it vodka? No vodka. Oh, yeah. Well, I wasn't feeling that good. I would have been felt nice and warm and toasty. Kevin's like, Rusty says, Kevin, he said I set both drums and then connect coupler before I wind the springs. Some people do that. Like they'll use like vice grips and stuff, put it. I don't think there's really any right or wrong. What I found out when I do it the way I do it is a problem is that when you're winding the spring, your shaft spins a little bit or whatever, you walk that shaft out, and if you don't realize it, you get done or something, or that last one, right? And you got a quarter inch to a half an inch gap or more or whatever on your coupler, and you're like, dang it, you know what I mean? So now you got to loosen something up, get them to slap back together on those couplers. So that's kind of one of the pitfalls of doing it. But I think it's because for me anyways, I've worked on so many service that sometimes what happens is the cables are a little different. Somebody did one or did the other or whatever, or if something shifted a little bit with track or something and it's just not quite, I like to just wind everything, get everything set, then everything's taut too, because for me cables are always a weird, like they're a give and take, right? Like you just don't have as much power as what the spring does to get that cable super tight. So I like to make sure it's all sitting on the ground. Sometimes I even like put vice grips on the bottom of the door somewhere, you know, like to hold the door down, because sometimes you can get like a weird shift in it. On commercial doors, you don't want that, because that's when you'll realize when you're running it or whatever, you're like, why is there daylight over here? And then you got to break the center coupler. Now, a little trick, a pro tip is I normally take, that's why I always normally carry a permanent marker with me. I will on the center coupler, if my doors, something's funny, I'll actually put a marker across that center coupler, that adjustable one. And that way when I adjust the door, because sometimes I'll loosen them up, have somebody, if it's two people, it's nice. You can have somebody down there yell at them, just, hey, step on the door, right? And you'll watch the center coupler, whoop, and you'll see your line change, and a little bit can go a long ways. So, but I like to physically see something move, right? So because I've had it before where they've done it and it didn't move, and now I'm questioning myself, did something else give? What's going on here? Oh man, maybe you're right. Kevin says, could do it that way. So I do a side at a time. He says, I'm not doing a lot of side to side. That's true. That's true. It could be. That could be. I always look at it, like I said, depending on, I never really care. It's kind of like how people wind springs. I never really care how they do it. It's just as long as they do it and they feel comfortable about it and they feel safe about it. You know what I mean? And they don't lose their fingers. Evans guy says apparently this clope, according to the customer, was installed back in September. The bottom section was dented. Yeah, box stores are really notorious for damage. That is kind of one of the pitfalls about, using the box stores. We had one. It was through Lowe's, and for whatever reason, I forget why it was getting done this way, but they were dropping it off at the job site. It was kind of far away, and at least an hour one way. And I remember I got up there, and it was like they were just like revamping this house, but hardcore revamping. Like it probably, like they tore up concrete. There was trees uprooted. Like, I mean, it was just like, and they literally looked like they took the box truck, and the guy just drug it out of the truck, and it hit the ground. And the ground was so unlevel, with just roots and dirt and whatever. And I remember as soon as I looked at it, I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, I would be really, 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 really surprised if this door doesn't have any damage. Now, this door was a Wayne Dalton 9000 series, so those ones are even worse because they put them back to back, and the faces are on the outside, which they have cardboard, but you guys know anything that hits cardboard hard enough, it's going to put a dent in it. So sure enough, we installed them. There was just nothing but dents and problems, and then the worst part is I installed the handles how I would normally install them, which I've done this hundreds of times, but I left instructions, or no, it was a technician. The technician installed them. He installed them up the next section or something. I don't remember, but I remember the instructions were left or something. The customer was not happy, or now there was already holes in there. And then the problem is because it's a 9000 series door, it's not like you can just like take the section and move it, because the hinges are like numbered, and these doors are so thin that it's like you start doing that, it's kind of problematic. So our vendor was really good. Somehow they got us another section, couple sections, because there was 2 or 3 doors on this job. And then of course I had to go back up and make sure the job got done really, really, really good, because now we're already behind the 8 ball. Job this week, customer went into my website and used the message from there. Nice. What's up, Mr. Tanner? What's up, guys? How's everyone's week? It's a good week. Weather's been up and down a little bit. Monday's going to be crummy again. I see we got some smileys. We got all kinds of stuff going on there. Appreciate it. Oh, we got 9 likes too. Thanks for hitting the like button. I do the quotes. Customer shows up at the lumberyard to pay for it. Oh, that's perfect. See, that's perfect. There you go. See, I knew it wouldn't be long, and Evan's he's outsmarting me. That's awesome. There you go. That's the way to do it. I'd probably do it too. I mean, honestly, for us, we're super lucky around here, because like we got the Menards. I'm pretty sure Evan doesn't have the Menards, but Menards is the easiest website I've ever come across, that you could literally go in there and build a door, or get standard ones, and that'd be perfect to send. You could probably just screenshot it, probably even have as a forward it to the customer, say this is what I would recommend, and they go from there. They can print it off, whatever. They can go in, they make the purchase, they can pay for it online to order it. So many other options. So using other people's resources is a really, really smart thing to do, because it can save you a lot of overhead. You know what I mean? You don't have to, maybe you're just not there yet, and you don't have to hire a secretary or all this other kind of stuff. So, there's a lot that you could eliminate, and just use technology, right? So that's awesome. Evan's garage door service. I do the quotes. Rusty, hey Tanner. We had a crazy full week and couldn't have haven't done another job. Busy. Gotta get some workers, man. Jets is in the house. What's up? Last week I installed 9x7 white full view with white, the lem glass. What is that? Laminate. It says with jack shift on, 12-inch radius. Ooh, with arched opening. Ooh, yeah, man. I don't know about that. I don't know. At least it's a smaller door, I guess. But what's Sky Guy? Says I get a lot of that's expensive. I just replaced our furnace. Yeah, it's I feel like it kind of comes down to like my buddy, man. He always used to give me crap about it. And he'd always say, he'd be like, how is it that the plumber gets paid, the furnace guy gets paid, the roofer gets paid? He goes, but when it comes to the garage door guy, they don't want to pay. And I agree, but I kind of understand it now too, because those are really necessities. Garage door is kind of a luxury, right? A garage door, you can literally, like if you got a lease on a car or something like that, or even a personal car or whatever it is, just a beater, it can sit outside, right? It does not have to be in the garage. Like that's a luxury in a sense versus a necessity. Now commercial and stuff like that, a little different, but the resis and stuff like that, I've had a lot too that they're on fixed income. So that's always kind of a kicker, or they're on that fence of like debating about, should I turn it into my insurance? And I'm like, man, I really wouldn't. Your insurance is going to go up, your deductible, everything is, your premium is going to go up. It's Tanner God. He says, Evan, does your lumber yard not do a credit so you can order the doors and pay 30 days after you receive the door? Then you can just ask for a material price up front, so you don't have to don't take a hit if they back. Take a hit if they, what is this, something about they back out. Oh, and then build after, so came up with the money in the door also. See, and I don't know. Like I said, I think about like for like Evan's situation, and a lot of guys starting out, you typically don't got a lot of money, and then what I've noticed is when you involve these other when you involve these other like the box stores or the lumber yards and stuff like that, like you have just freed up, like to me in my head, I'm probably over exaggerating this a little bit, but you have freed up 50% of your time, because now the customer you don't, like, that's not my problem. That's not my problem if you're going to pay with a credit card. That's not my problem if you're going to use cash or you're going to use Venmo or however. Like, that's between you and the lumberyard. And when you're driving down there a day later and they got a brochure there and you go, yeah, you know what, maybe I want to upgrade in the lumberyard or whoever. That's right. We'll just keep you with the same whatever, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. Like I said, I think my biggest gripe with them is, you're not having to deliver to you, but when you have more time than money, that's not a problem. And the damage sometimes, but a lumberyard typically is going to be a lot better than like the box store. Typically, not always. They're kind of rough on stuff. A lot of people don't know. I've seen people I've had personal workers with me, like they chuck garage doors like that sheet of lumber, like a piece of OSB or plywood, and I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Like, you can't just drop it like that. Oh, I don't know. I'm like, dude, you'll dent it. Like, you can't be that rough with this, dude. So I don't know. Yes, guy. They think, holy crap, this thing's blinking. We got a disco light going here, I guess. I think, yes, guy. I think you will also say that you will do it for less. Commercial garage door. Who got that name? That's so cool. I'm gonna throw another battery in here. We're gonna throw the bad battery. See how this one works. This got jumped. This is one of those Milwaukee ones. I can't see it, but it's we'll see how long it lasts. I'm trying to revive it again. The batteries have been just blowing out on me on Milwaukee's. Oh, Scott, was that like a little bear with like some popcorn? Popcorn sounds good. Sky says there's new names in here. He says, cheers, everyone. Yeah, thanks, Sky. Oh, that's right. I got to give Sky. I forgot. Cheers, Sky. Take a sip. Gives you a minute to wet the whistle. Tanner. Right on, Rusty. Sounds like good week. He says that's kind of where we are now. Going to get bad in a few weeks when everyone starts coming back to lakes areas, and we order a bunch of doors last week after. He says we reached out to other contractors to see if they wanted to order doors before the price increase. Ooh, the price increase. What are they, Tanner? What are they getting you for like another? Is it like a 10% or 3% increase? I'm just curious if you know. Tanner, I'm going to be doing that over the next week and calling customers back most of the time. I don't do follow-ups because we have enough work coming in. Oh, he says, I'm just a commercial garage door. Ooh, nice. Commercial, man. That's my style. I like my commercial stuff. I kind of hang more to residential now, but I like the commercial. I like the big stuff. Not as big as Tanner. Not as big as Tanner. Don't get too excited. Same, we only call commercial contractors a few resi guys just because gave us a heads up on the job, so return the favor. Ooh. Hi, y'all. Look at that. It's got the peas. Rich Peas in the house, man. I was wondering where Rich is. It's good to see. Is this the live channel? We're live. We're here. We're breathing. We're sucking air. Tanner's got, what's Tanner got? It's on the Menards website. You can build the door, save it, then it will give you a number. You can give the counter, okay, and will come up exactly how you made it and ready to order. Ooh, nice. I'm glad you kind of mentioned that, because I've seen there's like normally a pretty big long number on there, but like I said, I haven't really played around with other ones. Like even I don't know what it is, but Menards just seems like they're the best. You know what I mean, for their online stuff. Everybody else seems real dated to me. I haven't played too much in the Home Depot, but I've tried like Lowe's, and it just seems like it's like, I don't understand. It doesn't seem like it works as good as the Menards one. So. Commercial, he says, good channel. All right, make sure you subscribe, all that good stuff. Hit the like. We always appreciate it. We're glad you're here. Evans, Tanner, I'm not sure. I have to look into it, but might have a thing with using Home Depot as a vendor. Ooh. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes it's like I don't really know what the like, maybe some of you guys can put some stuff in here. But for a long time we were doing with our one vendor, I believe we were tax exempt. And it just seemed like it got to be a real pain in the hiney to deal with all the crap. Then we owe the money and stuff to the old Uncle Sam and all that kind of stuff. So the next following year, we just did it as we paid the taxes, from our vendor. That way they got to handle it. So, sometimes I worry about that, where I go, it feels like to me it can start getting a little tricky. Because you can't, like, how do I explain this? There's just some beauty sometimes about just having the customer pay for it, right? That's not you. You don't have to worry about the taxes. You don't have to worry about their tax exempt. You don't have to worry about their whatever they want to do. You're just there to provide the labor, right? There's just some beauty to it, because you start doing some of this net stuff, net 30, and I'm telling you, this is the way I feel. It's my personal opinion. You got to start getting a helper. You got to start having a girlfriend, a wife, a secretary, somebody you hire, an accountant. Like you got to start, because as you're trying to go out and install, the last thing you're worried about is the numbers behind the scenes. You're like, look, I'm out trying to hunt, right? It's almost kind of like, I always think of it as like hunting, right? Like I'm going out and killing something and I drag it home. Now I need you to process it and put it in little Ziploc bags and freeze it, and then, make a meal out of it. You know what I mean? But it's hard enough. You guys know how it is. Right? You know how hard it is to go out and kill something, make a sale, to get that job to land, to shake the hands, to make the customer happy. There's just so many things to it. So many. Reserve Home Depot, contractor card. What does it say here? Tanner. Menards, you can get a Menards card and order the doors. I'm not positive. See if Home Depot has a contractor's card. You can get a contractor's card. Get the customer to give you a check for your door. Evan says, I'm assuming Tanner ID need a tax number to consider a contractor. Ooh, that could be. That could be. Yeah, and that's another thing, you know what I mean? So it's, you know, now you got more paperwork, you know, so it's kind of like, you know, and I guess if I was getting enough blowback from the customers, you know, but here's the thing, right? I just want to put this out there. I have noticed over the years that residential people, for the most part, right? Like, how do I, you give them a deal, they're happy. Oh, they love saving money, right? Save big money at Menards. You know, but anywho, they love saving money, right? So they're saving money, they know they're using you. If you got some pictures, you got some referrals, right? They trust you, you got some Google stuff going on. Like the rest really is kind of blurry to them. Like I've had I've had customers that kind of like annoyed me, I ain't gonna lie, residential, and I needed something, right? And plus it was like, if they bought it, so we had one not too long ago, I think was last year we did, me and Cap, and it was like, we start kind of working on the door, we're like, where's the weather seal? And it's like, well, it ain't me. So a customer came home or whatever, checked in, it's like, hey dude, like, for one, your door's got damage on it. What? For two, you don't have no weather seal. So he ended up getting, they're going to replace the section, and he's out there, right? He's out there pacing the yard, man, just out there pacing. And I'm just sitting there kind of going, you know, because I'm going, that would be me. That would be me out there pacing in the yard, dude. You know what I mean? Be on there with the customer, or not with the customer. I'd be on there with the vendor, secretary. No, we got a problem, man. They sent us another bad one. I knew it, a truck driver. You know, well, send me pictures, blah, 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 right? And he's out there just pacing, right? And I'm in there just kind of like, I didn't order it. I didn't drop it off. It wasn't me. I'm just the guy here to install it. And he finally gets off the phone and comes up. He goes, not a problem. He goes, they're going to send me a new section. He's like, I'll have you guys come install it when it comes in. He's like, and they're giving me free weather seal. And I'm like, damn, like free weather seal on a, whatever it was, 12 by 12, 12 by 14. I'm like, nice. Awesome. And he's like, I think he actually went to the store. Yeah, I went to the store that day where we're still working, and picked up the weather seal. And I'm like, this is like having Uncle Dave, a secretary, and a runner all in one. I was like, this is great. This is great. It sucks that the door's damaged, but Cap said he already had enough hours built in that we already were beating the hours for, so he's like, we can still actually come back and still be ahead for how many hours he had padded into it for what they quoted or whatever. He said he's just not going to get any better of a discount. He's going to pay full price. And I'm just like, cool, man. Like, this is great. This is great. Like, I didn't have to make the phone call. I didn't have to send the pictures. I didn't have to, you know, the picture didn't come through. They want a picture of the box number too. Oh my gosh. You know, I didn't get that. I threw the box away. I'm not there at the job anymore. There's just so many things that go on and on. So there's pros and there's cons. But what I'm getting at is if your customer's okay with going there, which most time they are, they like shopping. They got more time on their hands. Not all, but some. You know, the resis do. You know, the resis seem to do. Tanner's guy says quoted plus markup. Then put the money in your account so you know it went through, and order the door, then bill them, get a check for labor when the door is done. That's how I started. Looks like you are a little more established. I'm not 100% sure, Evan. He says you would have to look into. He said I actually started with my local lumber yards, not the box store lumber yard. They are a little more easygoing to work with, and it's not a bad idea to stop into your local lumber yard and box store most of the time. At least there you have a paper says you can fill out your service, so you will put garage door service installations. He says, and I think it jumped, and they will give it to customers by doors. They might be in need of person fix tune-ups. Yep. So yeah, and like the lumberyards are a little more in tuned than the box stores. You could build a relationship with them too, you know what I mean? So that's why I'd be wearing like a sweater or something, t-shirt, got your name, make sure you got some business cards, because you just never know. That day might come, you're in there and they're like, something clicks and they go, hey, you do garage doors, right? Well, I got this customer, right? And it could be a builder, it could be whoever, and you start doing it. And like I said, you just never know which way the wind's gonna blow, right? Like I said, my concrete guy, he averages probably around about 5 to 7 houses a year is what I see him do. And he still buys, like he knows how the game is played. So he's getting a good deal. He's buying it all as a package. And it probably works good for him, for his banker or whoever, his accountant and stuff. You know what I mean? Because all, you don't have to whip checks out here and whip checks there, and and he's just signing off labor, and having you maybe do a lien waiver, stuff like that. Turn this off. Rich's guy says, Mid-Stars is really nice, but I don't get my doors there. I know. I was just there. It's like weird because they seem like they didn't have like 16x7s in stock. And I was looking yesterday. I think it was yesterday. I was glancing and they had 4 in stock, and I was like, I was like, I'm surprised. Like, I don't know if it does seem like they didn't have them in stock. Like, they weren't pushing them, but they're in there now. So I don't know what's going on with them. But when you're starting out, sometimes keep it small, keep it all. And, obviously depending on locations and all that, like I said, I like to use whatever's close, right? That's my biggest thing, because there will become a point in time that we hopefully, will realize that the time is your most precious thing, right? Because you only got so much time on this earth. And so, and whoever's going to take good care of you in a sense where you can get service, that's the biggest thing, because you don't want to be driving 2 hours away or 3 hours or 4 hours or 6 or 10 or 20 for somebody to, you think they're I've done that. Don't do that. Rich has got a place in Chicago. Tanner says, we'll give it out. Customers buy something. I tried to install them. I was kind of leaning towards the Home Depot because they can get me LiftMaster. Not sure if the lumberyard can. And you got to remember, Evan, too, I don't know why I thought this years ago. Hey, we got 13 likes. Thank you guys for hitting the like button too. But, I just still to this day do not get hung up on the openers. You know what I mean? Install something you like. Install something that's a fair price. Install something that it's easy to work on. It's easy to use. The customers like it. I just can never, I just really can't stress enough. I think sometimes we get too hung up on certain things. Like for me, it's like the vehicles, right? I could give a crap less about what you drive for a vehicle. It's like a horse. As long as a horse performs, it could be a damn mule. I don't care, man. Long as it turns whatever it needs to turn the dirt, gets me at point A and point B for the most efficient and not be in the shop. Just use whatever you got to use. If you use box stores and the customers, like I said, to this day, I don't have anybody, I can't remember anybody ever just being coming up to me and being like, you know why I choose you? Because you were the only guy that sold LiftMaster. Yep. That's why I used you. And you know what? That's why I'm going to give you an extra 100 or 200 or $1.2 million. Because you use such good product. I'm so proud of you. No, it's always price-based typically. Or just make it work, or make it link to my car, or will it have Wi-Fi, or will it have a camera in it, or will it come with a keypad, or does it come with 2 remotes? That's normally always the, you know what I mean? Or if you got to match it up to something, so be it. You know what I mean? Our product is a lot of our product is turned to junk. That's just the bottom line. all the product has turned into mush, to junk. They all got problems. They all got circuit boards. They're all trying to get you subscriptions. Door link. He said it. I was kind of leaning towards. Which brand do you install the most? I think that's for Evan. I'm kind of curious too. Hannah says our lumberyards get LiftMaster and Lanier. I didn't even know. I don't think Lanier does commercial anymore. I guess they still do the residential. But I don't mess with the Lanier, and local lumberyards can't get better doors, anything from Midland, CHI, Haas. But you're in Canada, you could probably get Graga or North Central Door. Local lumberyards, brands, which be much better than the box stores and more options. Tanner Home Depot up here does Clopay as well as the lumberyard. I've dealt with for the upcoming job carriers, Steelcraft and Wayne Dalton. Tanner says, Dave, you can look into Great North Central Door Company. They make door panels, front doors to match perfectly. It's crazy cool. We just had a rep stop in last week. We got a job or two this year so far. Yeah, I kind of, I just don't mess with the front doors. I just don't. I run. I don't mess with communities either. You know what I mean? Typically, there's not one decision maker. I'm not really interested. You know what I mean? I don't want to be the guinea pig. Front doors, we've had, like I said, I remember one, I went back and forth so many times, and I couldn't figure out if it was the vendor screwed up, I screwed up, the secretary screwed up, and it put a lot of stress on me. And I said, you know what? I'm good. I was like, if they want, we'll put a door in. If they want to match their front door to our garage door, that's fine. You know what I mean? Rusty says, most customers don't care about the brand or door aside from the color, panel design, and installation. Yep, I would agree with that. And to be, for the most part, I can't say I've had, I really just don't have anything to say about, that's why I tell most people, I go, most people, the sections are the sections. That's not a problem. It's the hardware, right? We all know that. The hardware is where they get you, where it sucks, or it's thinner gauge, or the hinges, or rollers, or the spring system. But there's way to combat that. And I think as long as you educate the customer. So I had that one a while back that I did the Menards doors, the black 2 9x7s. And I educated the customer. I said, this is what I would do if this is going to be like a forever home. I told them the price. They came back. She actually came back to me with some offers of thinking, well, it's actually cheaper. This is a stock. And I'm like, hey, you do you, boo. I'm like, that's fine. I just wanted to give it to you. And actually, for whatever reason, they gave us dual hardware, double the hardware we're supposed to. The stuff wasn't really bad. It eluded my brain because I'm so programmed to like 16x7 doors that the little the thinner hinges, that's not such a big deal on little 9x7 doors. They don't see that impact as much as they do on a bigger door where they'll break the hinges. So I was like, you know what? I was like, really, this isn't a bad gig. I was like, this isn't a bad deal after all. You know what I mean? It was in stock. She got everything delivered. We were just there for labor, and everything worked out pretty good. And she got extra parts. I couldn't believe it. So they stashed them. I don't know. I have problems with them all. You know what I mean? I've had problems with certain vendors. I've had problems with, and it's just, I think it depends on the level you're at, right? Of your business, right? When I have a lot of time, I got a lot of freedom and I got a lot of other options, you know what I mean? But when I'm out of time, it's like, I need a vendor that's on point. I need a vendor that drops off to my door, I don't go pick up. You know what I mean? I ain't got time for that. You know, I'm out installing, man. I'm out working. I'm out making money. You know what I mean? So I need stuff dropped here. You know what I mean? They are expensive, but when you live on lakes, some of these people, seller says we can get a matching garage door and front door. Absolutely. People on the lake, man, they're a different animal. The people that got the money. Evan, he says, Rusty, the customer might not care, but if I can push them away from buying Torque Master door, I will. Yeah, you know, I mean, I think if you're like, you know, I've been kind of through that whole like, so there was some beauty, right? Everything's got a pro and there's a con, right? So like when I was doing the Wayne Dalton Torque Master, they're budget doors, you know, they're lumberyard doors, whatever, you know, but there is some beauty, right? Everything is enclosed. They put all the hardware at the end. I mean, all I had with the Wayne Dalton, which was nice, was 2 boxes. The sections, actually, when I was doing like 16x7s, 2 sections. They'd sandwich 2 doors together, 2 panels together. The hardware boxes would be in the very ends. Very simple, very clean, very hard to screw up. I think they didn't put, did they put weather seal? Gosh, I can't remember if they put weather seal in there. I don't think they put weather seal. So I believe it was, you grab your 2 boxes. They're complete. They had the Torque Master in them. And you had to grab your weather seal and you were out the door. You know what I mean? Simple. They can hang out the vehicle. They didn't fall off. You didn't have to deal with boxes and grab the springs. And they're a very simple system. Now, one thing I think about too with the Wayne Dalton, and like I said, I'm not trying to promote them with those systems because they have their problems. But I never once ever had a Torque Master ever come off. I don't know why. And I know I was very green back then, and I wasn't setting the track the way I should be and all that. I've never, ever had a Torque Master come unspun on me. I've only had it when it like breaks a spring or the customer lifts it up or, you know, one of the springs broke and they did something. But I've never had an install where I went back and I was like, God darn it. Like, what the heck am I doing wrong? How's the cable keep coming off? I don't know how it does it, but I've never had a cable come off. Weird. Maybe I just got lucky. And like I said, I think it all depends on too, like what's their price, right? What's the price? If, like I said, there was a point where I was getting gypped, you know, they were charging me, a company, I won't try to say who, but they were charging me $200 more than I could get from another company. And I kept going to these jobs, right? I'm dealing with these customers, and I'd be like, I'm out here, my time. I already took their phone call. I'm all happy. Hey, I'm here to fix your garage door. And they look at my price and they go, you're like $200 higher than the last guy. And I'm like, there ain't no freaking way. The other places got a building. They got multiple employees. They got trucks. I mean, like, I'm a dude working on my garage. Like, hell no. Like, that can't be possible. I had to scratch my head, and I'm like, they show me their price, and I'd be like, man, like, how are they doing it? Like, that'd be my cost. Like, I make $50. Can't do it for $50. And then I was like, oh, I started calling around and found out, whoa, I can get stuff like $100, $200, $300 cheaper other places. Holy crap. Like, that's, like, I can get the job now. Plus, I'm making some more money in my pocket a little bit, you know, like, so price is a big thing too. Rusty is not wrong. We have a company who will quote you a CHI and you get a Rainer. Huh. Versta, just depending on you get away with, or you can make more money giving you a door. You don't know the brand. They're pretty shady.
Yeah, I can't say I've ever done that. Just order the Clopay standard spring setup. You don't have to get the easy set garbage. Yeah, and like the easy set isn't really that nice, but if you spray the inside of that tube, from what Rich B taught me on that, it really it's not too bad. I kind of like it because if especially like I could see the benefits if you're kind of not a seasoned vet, And honestly, I ain't gonna lie. For me being a seasoned vet, I kind of like it, right? Because I said it, and I always know, right? Typically, when I set a door, at least for me, it's not every time I set a door. I'm like, it's perfect every time. I always normally got to, adjust the spring, a quarter turn, a half a turn, something like that. The easy set, it's good. You know what I mean? I think there's different ways to install it, and there is some stuff that can take a little bit longer. That's a little bit foreign. I mean, I'm never a big fan of that center bracket with the couplers that come together, but I don't know. I definitely like being universal. You know what I mean? I like to be diversified. What I miss? I missed something. Let me see what this is. Oh, I see. Tanner sent me something. I'll look at it after. Rusty says, when I go check a job, he says the customer is doing business with me because they got referral or they trust me after we meet. Price is usually why. I said I don't get bids because every other brand is cheaper. The cheaper, man. They like that cheap, right? Evan, he says, when I went with Lumberyard because couldn't quote over the phone from Home Depot because of their crappy phone automation system. That's kind of a bummer. See, I'd probably be searching a little bit, and then I'd cross-reference a little bit. I guess I would I'd try to find so like what I've done. I kind of cheat, right? So what I'll do is I'll actually use like home, or I'll use Menards, the big box store. I'll use their pricing, but normally I'll say I got to add $100-$200 to that because our hardware is normally we come pretty close. So if you can find something out there too, that way if you have to, if it's after hours or at night, you got to put a quote together for a customer. You can get something roughly. There's so many different ways. It's getting better and better. I'm thinking pretty soon we're gonna be able to order them through Amazon. Tanner, he says my closest competition with employees. He says employees crack says he says we'll sell you a Clopay and send you garage track piece together / parts they have in stock. Oh, see, Clopay must be different up in your area. Says, what's up, man? I see. Clopay is my buddy who runs a door company in Minnesota. This is about an hour from us. Dropped Clopay to carry the Midland. Says he will quote Clopay. They are kicking around the price because it's cheaper. What's up? I see. Is it Burke Garage Door LLC? What's up? Affordable, aka Uncle Dave. I love it. What's going on, man? This sounds like real winners, Rusty. They said what people try to get away with. There's a lot of people that get away with a lot of stuff. A lot of some of that stuff, the home inspectors, they don't do their stuff, you know. Well, I should say the building inspectors and stuff like that. There's just so much of it. People don't even realize it until they get burned. Cheap choice, Wayne Dalton, Amar. There are other cheaper choices. The Wayne Dalton, Graga. Gotta love some Graga. That's why I'm most expensive. Everyone in my area is on Race to the Bottom. Tanner, yes, says it depends. We don't have some what we call builder special doors, but they have some nicer door options. Just don't love their tracks, he says, and Amar sucks. He says we are it's not Amar dealer. The good old Amar. Says sold one in years. He says Graga. He says sold in years, and Graga's we're not a fan. We are North Central dealers, so we absorbed Graga. They bought out. Oh, they bought the North Central. Yeah. What's up, Mr. Tony? Tony, what's it been like for you? Been slammed, slow, steady, medium? What's going on over there in the world? Hope things are good. Good in the hood. When he says, and we finished that bus barn this week. Ooh, nice. A clip a job. He says, I've been working on for companies have subbed us. Price double because of jacking around. Wow. Dang, dude. Dang. Oof. Price. Let's see how tart this is. It's got a little zing. Ooh-wee. What's up, Papa Tony? Tony, how you doing? Nice of you to join us. Gotta take a little nap. Customer called me last week because his Turkmaster kept coming undone. Says told him the price, and he said he paid that much for the doors. They used to come, I think the old ones used to have a cover on them, so that's why I think I got kind of saved, because I've heard them before when they get sprung, you know, and they're kind of funny, and you go to pull the door down, and you hear it like really, it sounds kind of violent. It's like, you hear this, you know, it's like, yeah, that's what it needs to do. It's a little goofy at the moment, but I figured they used to have that, what was it? How do they do it? They had a dial. You spin the front one, kind of like an easy set, right? And the dial would rotate up a little bit and tell you the numbers it's at. And then now we got the cranks, and I don't know if I like one versus the other, but our big thing is we normally converted them for customers, even ones that we installed, because it would take us roughly about 2 weeks. I think our truck would come every other week, and through Wayne Dalton. So it was like, we can order one, but you know, we're here right now. We could probably change it out. I'd always verify that typically before I would tell the customer, say, why don't we just do another easy set, you know, we'll come back depending on the workload, all that kind of stuff, right? You got to sugarcoat it a little bit. Ooh, the hot tub. Dang, man, that sounds good. Man, I need a hot tub right now. I'm freaking aching, dying. Here's, I need to send you a day of pictures. Had a guy stop at the shop and picked a straw. He says, the scrap trailer to take home. Oh, man. For some reason, that reminds me, right here at the shop, I remember one time, I think I was going to like take it, and then the customer decided they're going to come pick it up. So I literally put the door right outside the fence here, so the secretary could see it on the camera, and it was just out here for the customer because we weren't going to be here. I literally backed up to this general area for whatever reason. I ran over the damn door. Couldn't believe it, man. As soon as I heard it, I'm like, oh no freaking way. Bent it like a V on the quarter end of it. That sucked. I got to call the customer. Of course, the customer showed up. I remember the customer showed up, and I'm like, yeah, we were just trying to call you to tell you we got to order you another door. Yeah, that was a $400 something, whatever, hiccup. Is garage door panel. Oh, what's Rich got? He says, I don't like the couplers on the easy spring system. I always through bolt, he says, and don't rely on the self tappers. That's probably a good idea. They tell you to use. Yeah. I almost wondered to wonder what about like a roll pin, if a roll pin would be better, or it's just too hard. It's going to be like eating it up. I don't know. You know, through bolt's kind of the same, but right. It's, I never knew this. Let me know if anybody knows any more information on this. We had a commercial job, big door, 14 by 14. Gosh, the thing might be 16 by 16. I don't know. It was a big door, and the springs on it were huge. Anywho, jack shaft opener, and I remember how did it happen? I forget. Something walled out on it pretty bad. So I was trying to nurture it along. So I thought, you know what? I'm gonna drill right through the shaft. I'm gonna drill right through it on the coupler, and I'm gonna get a grade 8. I'm gonna get a grade 8 bolt, and the hardest bolt I can find. I think grade 8's hardest. Let me know. So I got a big grade 8 bolt, 3/8 or whatever it was, and I put that puppy through, put a lock on there, everything, and I'm like, sayonara, we won't see you for another year or two, because I really didn't want to tear this thing apart. We ran out of however to fix it, you know, shaft or whatever. And I broke it like 3 times. I'm like, what in the heck, man? And every time I knew, because they'd tell me the door's doing something, it would take off, but it would always do that launch. Like it'd go boom, and it'd fire up, and it'd be like one side's higher while it's going up, and it's like, what in the... So, you know, I had to always bring out the scissor lift and all this kind of stuff. Well, I ended up putting a roll pin in there. And supposedly, I believe my dad told me about it. He said, you got to put a roll pin because it can't have any slop in it. He said, that slop is where you're shearing it. He says, a roll pin will stay tight. So I don't know. Tell me if that's true, or you got a better idea for something, how to fix something like that. But I'm like, no freaking way. A roll pin? Like, it's thinner than thin. It's you know, but he was saying that shear, you can't have any slop to it. He said, you'll shear it off. And so I put a roll pin in it, and that fixed it. And then, of course, it blew a spring. And as soon as it blew the spring, whatever, another year later, I was just like, oh, well, obviously we're changing out shafts. We're doing the whole kit and caboodle on this thing. Evan's got there. Let's see here. Don't like Evan, he says, but I made a new friend with the garage door guy at Home Depot, so maybe I can get options in the future. Ooh, yeah, maybe. Hey, I used to have a guy I used to work with, or not work with, but he used to refer. We used to do the man doors at Home Depot, and I got a lot of work from that guy. I'm sure if I wanted to push it harder, I could technically be like, hey, buddy, hey, what's your Cash App? What's your Venmo? I got a little gift for you. You know, after a couple jobs, send them a few dollars, you know, just because. It's a gift. You know, I had a little extra money in my pocket. Holy cow, we got Ever After here. Son of a gun. Hey, so just had my first customer for my new garage door business. Nice. How'd it go? Tell me how it went. Oh, I see it's here. It says did a spring for $350. Not bad. Nice. Good job. That's awesome, Brent. Heck yeah, that's awesome. Great job. Ever After. Tanner's got. Ooh, so I should ask, where did you get your springs? Ooh, Ever After. Where'd you get your springs? Where'd you get them? Order them? Get them through the old Amazon? Tanner says, no, 16.210. straw he put through his window. Oh man. On his Toyota Camry. Oh my gosh, sticking out 6. Oh my gosh. Each side. Holy cow, man. That sounds just as bad as that guy who took my scrap metal off that job that one time. And he's got like, it looks like an airplane. I'm like, the guy up in the lift, he's like, you see how he's stacking? I don't give a crap, man. Luckily, the scrapyard wasn't too far down the road. But I'm just like, whatever, man. As long as he takes care of it, that's we're way behind on this job. I got no interest in messing with this scrap metal right now. Like, this job was supposed to be a half a day, and it's turning into a full day. Pretty busy. Been training another one. Nice. It's a good man. It's good. It's nice to have help. It really is. I mean, it just frees you up, you know. Yeah, Mr. Tony, how many you got? How many employees you got there? Stacking them. Says, yeah, our greenhorn is doing pretty good. He's coming up on his 90-day review. Ooh, and he has came a long way. Okay, it says we have a 24x14. It says on house next week. I'm thinking about just being a ground guy all day. Oh, that'd be cool. See what the other two can do with him. Sink or swim, boys. There you go. That's awesome. We are so busy this week. We may Dad come out of retirement for a couple days. Oh man. He says, I have 2 now, Evan. Sam and Jeff, also. And Paige, part-time. Awesome. That's awesome. It's great. It's good to have people, you know, they're trained and they're ready for you if they need help, or they just helping all time, full-time. Oh, it's such a nice thing. Yeah, Rusty says, you're going to have more employees than Dave soon. Yeah. Heck yeah. Let's do it. Oh, action overhead door. Oh, action, huh? Is that the one that always sells like the hinges and stuff? I assume they action. I feel like I get brochures on them too. Ooh, richest guy. He's got donuts go a long ways at vendors. That's true, because that's how. I'm not gonna lie. This is when I knew the sales tactic hit me, right? We actually had Safeway come in, Safeway garage doors. Roger, I don't think Roger works anymore. Roger was a pretty cool dude, kind of just real down to earth, kind of been doing it for years, just kind of basically a no bullshit guy. I kind of like it. And anyways, he comes in, and I don't remember. I think I was having the secretaries working remotely at the time, the beginning of it, and I was here, so I was kind of at the helm. And I remember he came in and he's talking, and I'm like, kind of like, yeah, you know, we've been through this whole sales stuff again. You know, you guys got the best, you're the cheapest, you know. It's like this stuff always gets kind of monopoly, like it kind of gets old. Like you're just kind of like, yep. Well, we can do this for you. We can get it shipped to you. We can yep. And all I ever care about for most time for me is I'm always like, can you just deliver a product, you know, on time? With all the bits and pieces and the parts being there, can you do that? Can you give me like the A, B, or C? Can you give me those options? Like I want like remember what Napa used to say? Didn't Napa? I always used to tell the secretary that. I always tell her, I say, like, we're for certain customers, hey man, just give me the cheap. You know, it's just customers, you know, whatever. You know, and then there was the times I was like, give me the good stuff. I need like the Napa, the good stuff. I need the good stuff. So that always meant like, give me the better hinges, give me the better rollers, give me, you know, I want slide lock, I want rope, I want the Primo, I want the good stuff. And so I just kind of wish the vendors were like that, you know, where it's like I know it costs more, you know what I mean? So don't just give me your cheap. Like I want something decent. Anyways, he dropped off a box of Thin Mint Girl Scout cookies. And I'm not a big fan of the Thin Mint Girl Scout cookies, but I will eat them after the other ones. What's the other ones called? Is those the Smolians or the purple one? The purple box? I like the purple box. But when the purple box is gone in my household, I will eat some Thin Mints once in a while. I don't mind them. You know, it's not like I'll gag on them, but they're not my go-to, right? But those darn things were sitting there right on the desk. And I think Cap or somebody else was in there, right? And so we're nibbling off them. And it's like every time I grabbed one, God darn that Roger, he was a nice guy. He brought us some Girl Scout cookies. You know what? I think I'm going to give that Roger guy, I'm going to give him a chance. Yeah, we're going to order a couple doors from him. And he got our business for a while. And we still do some stuff with them, hit and miss. But, so, donuts, Girl Scout cookies, don't think they don't work, because they worked on me. I was hooked. Ever Afters is a big garage door company and wholesale parts to the tailgaters. Yes. And it was Action. I might have to look them up. Make sure I'm on the right one. I feel like we get flyers from them. Probably not as big as like Service Spring is my guess. Wonder where they're out of. What state? Springs are about 20 to 55 bucks depending on size. Not bad. That's a fair price. It's not like they're charging 60 to 120. So, you know, for resis. I picked up 4 of every size to have on hand. Nice. SGD. Is that SGD? SGD. I don't know what that one is. Same name, different company than the one online. Oh. Tony's Guy says Paige is the only truly trained one. It's nice when sitting there taking garage door and she's in massage chair, pops up and knows the answer to the question. I asked her fiance. Yeah, I know. You know, with those garage doors, you know, like I said, it takes. You know, it took me a year. I'm kind of a slow learner, so you know, it took me a year just to kind of wrap my head around garage doors. You know, it really did. It feels like it took me 5 years to kind of start going like, yeah, I'm the man. I can get myself out of a wet paper bag, even a dry one occasionally, you know, but it takes some time to understand how the physics and, you know, I don't feel like I ever gave it so much crap like a lot of people. Like a lot of people always feel like they can just like, well, I just don't understand why I can't just install a spring. I'm like, you just don't install random brake pads on a car, do you? You got to have the right ones. It's engineered. It fits. It was made for it. You know, like it doesn't work that way, you know? Oh, that's how it goes. What else is new out there? Maybe we'll give it to 11. We'll see how the comments do. Anybody been having problems, difficulties, callbacks? What kind of callbacks you been having? Ever After says, I'm going to try and drop off business cards at Menards and hope to get some business from there. I've been wondering about if anybody's been trying it. You know, because it kind of happens for me, and I wonder if it could happen for you. So I kind of, you know, I'll offer some free services, right? No, not that kind of service. No, get your mind out of the gutter. But I'll offer some free service on garage doors, and it's amazing to me that it's like you're how do I explain it? you're building momentum, right? You're building an energy. You're building people to recognize you. You're building yourself out there. I always wonder about, like, some of you guys that are starting out. What about trying? And I know it's kind of hard because, money's just not flowing off a tree. About offering like a free, you know, PM service or a lube job. Not that kind, but just offering that, and say, something with while supply lasts, or something on there that gives you a little bit of an out, but offer something like that, like through Facebook or something like that, because they say free is the most powerful word in the sales marketing. But if you can get out there, and the phone is ringing, people are talking, you're getting your stickers out there, you're in the neighborhood. Hey, you know what? I got a problem. And even if you're like doing let's say you're even doing it for like $20, right? Just to basically really cover just gas and whatever. Especially if you're really trying, like, I would try anything, honestly. If I was starting out again, I wouldn't be afraid of that kind of stuff, because I look at it and I go, well, some people go to college and spend 10, 30, 50, 100 or more $1,000, and they get out to go, what do I do now? Well, now I got to do the real world. I got to get a job. I got to. So what is it for you to be out maybe, 20, $40 of your time, but you're out in the community, you're providing a service, right? People are like, cause like, what was it? I've offered this service before, right? And I've already gotten probably three jobs out of it, right? And one is for, I didn't know it was going to be that way, but one's for a property manager. So, they can spread out a long ways. And if you get a good cheerleader, they can really spread things. And there's a lot of stuff I turn down, especially when they start kind of really pounding me. Like if it's like, I don't know, one was like some kind of landlord or something. But anyways, just the way the guy was acting, and there was some other interactions with other stuff. I just thought, hey, we're not a good fit, and please go fly a kite. So. Try drop up his skirts. You doing any social media, Brent? LED light on, jack shaft opener, call back, quit working. That's a bummer, because I feel like I thought SOS had something out there, a video talking about that too, but I guess LiftMaster covered it for free. But I was always a little bit worried about that stuff, when they had those LEDs, and they'd kind of do like I think they have a lifetime on them, correct me if I'm wrong. And I always thought, well, how is that going to work? Or if the customer can't change it, and then it comes back to me, and then they think in their head, like, they go, but it's a lifetime, you told me, or it says on there, or I read it online. I think they should take care of it, you should take care of it, versus take a bulb out, put a bulb in. I don't know. The times are changing. There you go. Rich's guy, he says, I always say springs are like women's shoes. He says they're all different. that probably resonates with the women a little more. That's probably good. Nothing yet. Just got set up with the House Call Pro. I don't know if that's scary. So this would be good information. With House Call Pro, I'm curious. I'm really looking for some information. I'm curious. So how much do you pay a month? How much do you pay for lead? And has it gone anywhere? Has it been good or bad? Because that stuff is the one that scared me about. That's like, to me, that reminds me of like the Home Advisor and Angie's List. I don't know about that. I think the only one that wins sometimes is them. This thing's not very good now. It's cold. Going to build my site, social media profiles. Rusty says, I had a difficulty today. I was installing black trim and cracked it. Oh, half, he says, as I was drove the, oh man, the last nail. Oh, shop for get another one. Oh, that's the worst. That's the worst. So here you go. Here's a good thing for like to learn from Rusty's mistake, right? I've had it too. I have had it happen. And colored ones are always the real difficult ones. So like the tubes on our trucks, we used to carry white. I'd always carry a 16-foot piece of white trim because it just, I've been in that situation. It seems like it never fails that you know, ah, man. So, you know, if you have the option to, sometimes it's better. And then you'll start getting a piece of trim, and then you get a piece of track, and then you'll have to have a building, and then you have to have stuff stored outside because one thing leads to another because now you need parts and you need extra stuff and you got to order for this job, and you start growing. You start growing and growing. It says, Brent, definitely get a face posted up. Oh, this light's failing too? Oh no. Do your business as local groups get results so far there. Nice. Ever after he says are a well-established business and still do all paper copies. Tony's guy says stay away from the warranty companies. I think SOS stayed away from them too. I think he was kind of doing something for them back in the day. He kind of doesn't recommend them. True that. Says a lot of waste time for little money. Little money. Tony says you want to get in with your Take 5 oil change or quick lube. Places they constantly running, doors always needing service. We just got a what is the one? The 5-minute whatever? Take 5. Yeah, Take 5 oil change. All right, Light, I know. Chill out. Theme song for the win. Says you're my daughter's age. All right, so John's got on here. He's got the House Call Pro is $70 a month. Okay. So the House Call Pro, okay, so it's just a CRM. Okay. All right. I got you. Okay, now it's making sense to me. I see why we're doing paper and stuff. So $70. Yeah. I don't know. What could we add to that? I mean, what could we, all right, stop it, light. That light's not gonna turn on either. There. What could we add to that? There. I think sometimes, right, we can get wrapped up to, I think this can go for a lot of things. And you guys add in whatever you think too, you know what I mean? Because, I think it was Rusty there. I seen said something still uses the paper and, I think we can just, I just want some of the younger guys to understand that I don't want to say too much on it. I don't want to be overstepping my boundaries here because I just kind of think about it and I go, I see a CRM and I see the benefits, but that's if you're really going to hound the people and do, email blasting and stuff like that. But I guess what I'm getting at is my point is just remember that you don't have to pursue like when I started out, like I always kept thinking like, oh, we got to get uniforms. If we get uniforms, then we're going to be like more established. Oh, if we get the trucks, then if we get our trucks labeled and we get this and this and this and this, like it's not always the case, right? It's not that it's bad, but it's just, it costs a lot of money. You know what I mean? And until you got the money and you got money, and then you can sometimes get in trouble, a little bit because you can go in debt or you're when you think about it, right? $70, a lot of money, $70. I mean, it's especially if you're not doing a lot of business, so, sometimes it's a good thing because it's going to motivate you because you got to get your ass out there and hustle. You know what I mean? You better get out there. got to go, man. You got $70. You got electric bill. You got a truck payment. You got to get tires. You got to get gas. You got insurance. Boom, man. You got to go. You know what I mean? You got to hustle. But it's also nice to be able to not be able to be under that thumb, right? If you don't have a lot of these services, you know what I mean? So it is nice to some degree that if you just, you know, it takes some time, you know what I mean? If it's not a quick get rich business, you know what I mean? It takes time, it takes dedication, it takes many years. To be honest, that's why I always tell some people, I'm always like, I'd probably get in the vending machine business before I do construction, because at least you can set the damn things and you can make money off them. I talked to my one buddy, he drives around in a brand new Chevy Silverado. Not saying it's right, it's wrong, or whatever. He's always got a brand new truck. He's got a trailer, nothing's marked. You know what I mean? I asked him the other day, I seen him at the dentist's office. And I was like, dude, tell me about your business. Like, tell me the kind of blowbacks. He's like, you know, we got people trying to move in always, you know. He says, but most time they just stick with me. I'm like, wow, why stick with you? And he's like, because I provide good customer service. He goes, because I'm the owner and I basically am the one that restocks all the machines. I'm like, yeah. And he goes, the other place, I won't say their name, but he goes, the other place, he goes, they got employees. And he goes, you know how employees are. He says, they don't care as much as the owners. And I'm like, he goes, so most of my customers I've had for 26 years. And I'm like, do you do any kickbacks? And he's like, no, we don't really do that anymore. He's like, they just want service. Like, they just want you to come in, take care of the machines, fill them up for their employees at shops and stuff like that. And I'm like, amen, brother. What do we got here? What do we got? House Call Pro, just a CRM. He says $189 for House Call Pro, depending on what version you have. All right, $189. I mean, I don't know. I bet we're in like the 225, 250, 275 for the Jobber. I don't know if one's better than the other. Never used the House Call Pro. What are benefits you have seen from using it? That's kind of a good question. The company I'm with now is using Service Titan now, and I'm in love with the system. Ooh. Everybody wants Service Titan. Nobody wants to pay. I wonder how much. You probably don't know how much you're paying for that Service Titan, though, do you? Monthly? Ooh, Rusty says, how to help you be more profitable. He says, I like the simplicity of having it take care of all the billing. True. Best YouTuber. What's up, man? MK4. Appreciate it. It doesn't help me be more profitable. I hear what you're saying, though. Yeah, I mean, it's nice to be like, there is some benefits to having a CRM. There really is, because like, we go back to customers and it's easy. We can do it, you know, we can do it from a phone. We can do it from anywhere in the United States. I don't know about out of the United States, but we can do it from anywhere in the United States. It is nice that we can see pictures and we can see there's notes and everything that's in there. You know, and if you, you know, like on our phones, we can hit a thing that'll tell them we're 15 minutes out. We can use a bogus number, basically, so if we don't want to give our personal number out, the employees can. There is some nice benefits to the stuff, you know what I mean? I just like to make sure people are aware, you know, that, you know, just, you don't need to go buy the brand new truck. You don't need to go buy the, you know, this, you know, don't think, you know, it's so hard to make the phone ring, you know what I mean? Get the customers. That's just the way I think anyways. You know, take care of the customers, you know, do a handwritten, whatever you got to do. If you want, do a CRM. If it's not too expensive, it's just, sometimes I think guys, you know, I can see people where it's easy to get into stuff, you know, well, if I get on Home Advisor and I get on Angie's List and I get on this and I also get a CRM and I get that new truck with a payment, I need it, babe, I need it, you know, like I can't show up in this, you know, yeah. Tanner says, "Come on, Dave." He says, "All the new guys are doing it." He says, "I've been a company for 5 minutes and I have brand new trucks, trailers, equipment advertising before they even get their first job." Oh man. Oh man. Yeah, I think I like to bring it up because it's if I would have, I'd still even be farther ahead if I would have known what I know now when I into the business. You know what I mean? Because there's just you don't know what you don't know. You know what I mean? You don't know until you know. And lesson repeated until lesson learned, right? And America is really, really, really good about trying to enslave you. You know what I mean? They really are. Just in whole advertising, just with society, keeping up with the Jones, and there is just a, I don't know. I guess you'll have to ask me for more, but I can tell you when you're not enslaved to that system, how beautiful things are, how much more relaxing things are, how easier things are, how much more laid back things are. But we're not taught that. You know what I mean? We're taught that, you do this and you got to have this and you got to be this, and it's when you, I think there's a lot of, at least for me anyways, a lot of it's sometimes you gotta, like my mom would say, right? You gotta be happy with yourself before you can be happy with others. You gotta love yourself before you can love others. You know, there's something when you can be at peace that is just out of this world. You know what I mean? Where you can be comfortable and you have the confidence, and a lot of it is confidence. You know what I mean? A lot of it is having the ability to talk to the customer and do stuff and answer the questions, be honest and nimble and noble, and just do what you say you're going to do. But there's just so many things where also you don't want to be a yes man, all the time. I mean, there's times we are here to solve problems, but it has to be a win-win. It has to be a happy marriage, with the customer. We can't just always bend over at their, and I think some of us can do that where we're traveling too far. I think sometimes we do it with, well, if I do this job for a cheap, I'll get the next job, there's a lot of moving parts. A lot of moving parts. Definitely an uphill battle when you're a greenhorn and trying to learn how to run a business at the same time. It's a huge challenge. Huge. I look at how much I used to do, and like I said, I went off to the races, baby. I mean, I was trying to grow as fast as I could. I had this mindset, like I'm gonna be the only one in town. I'm gonna, that's like trying to say you're gonna kill every fly in the world or every mosquito. I'll get every one of them. Yeah, good luck. And it's just there's just a lot of stuff, and that's why you just don't know until you do it, and that's why, and that's fine. Things can change, but also it's like, leasing a building or stuff like that. I might have, because some of the younger guys and stuff, there's a lot. Man, this building takes a lot to run. It has to get plowed. The driveway has to get fixed. There's trees that actually have to get removed probably yet this year. There's a lot of crap that doesn't make you money. It costs you money, electric bill running, you know what I mean? Place had to be painted a few years ago. It probably needs another one, at least on the roof. Tony's guy says, yeah, Tanner, I don't have a bank account either. He says they get a big he says fat loan book. Tanner's 24 is on the truck and all wrapped. Yeah. Rich and being rich. Most of them belly up in 2 years. Yeah, that is the truth. You know, that's why I've been trying to teach some of my family and stuff like that. You just don't know. You never know what's behind. You don't know. So like I was trying to tell Caleb this actually because he's in that age right now where he's got friends, right? Friends, and I've been through it. I'm sure you guys have been through it too, right? Your buddy, they get a newer truck, maybe not even brand new, but they get a newer truck, and then it turns into this, well, I got this, and that's why I got this and that. And I said, honestly, to this day, I said, what really matters to me, I said, if I was at your age, I said, if your buddy's going to sit there and brag, oh, I got this, how'd you pay for it? Did you pay for it with cash in full? And if you did, how did you do that? And I want to know how you did that. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I really would care about more than, well, I got this truck. Well, yeah, you look good, but oh, now you got a big old loan balance with it, and your insurance has got to be full coverage. Okay, that's great, but and now you got to whatever, 7-year, 14-year, whatever it is to make payments on this thing that's going down in value. You know what I mean? So that's whatever, you know what I mean? But if somebody can say, well, I paid for it in cash, how'd you do that? Well, I invested. I did this. I did that. I've been working my hiney off. I've been working 70 hours a week. I don't know if I want to work 70 hours a week. One other thing I love about is that you can put all your materials and with a sync with QuickBooks for inventory. Ooh, that's nice. That's nice. I think what I'd be really curious about though is because I still to these days even struggled with the inventory, right? I feel like you always got to do like a QR code or you got to do a barcode on there because the problem is like for us, we always have so much material coming in and so much material going out that it's like, how do you have to hire somebody to sit there. When you're small, you can do that because it's under your lock and key, right? But when you have a company and you got employees and you got people walking in and out and remotes and everything else and openers, that gets to be a little bit more complicated. So if anybody comes across something that's they're just like, wow, this is revolutionary, this is the way to go. It gives you a scanner and all. And I know there's ways you can do it, but you still have to have somebody involved where that stuff comes in, that stuff is being scanned, that stuff is put into the system, that stuff, and then how does it get removed out of the system? You're going to have employees, you're going to have them on the trucks, you're going to have it where it's under lock and key. Well, that vending machine business sounds pretty good, doesn't it? People pay, they bang on your machines a few times, hope they don't smash the windows. They get a free Snicker bar, but yeah, whatever, You go, you fill it up. It's working when you're sleeping, during the daytime while you're riding around. Oh, anywho, where are we at? That's what most of the new guys think. Tanner, get a truck. He says, my trailer, get all my shit. He says, and then go work. I see that. I do see that quite a bit too. A lot of people just, I think it's a very contractor mentality. There is something to it. There really is, where they think they gotta have, and it's like you're screaming for attention. You know what I mean? And I kind of get it. It kind of works, but it kind of doesn't because normally behind the scenes they're not paying attention to the real logistics of it. Like you paid for a wrap, you paid for a vehicle, now you got a truck payment, now you got a truck that went down. That sucks. Been there, done that. A truck that's in the shop for a month and a couple weeks. Been there, done that. And it's like, wow, what are we gonna do here? It's just there's a lot of variables to this stuff. Rusty says truck grabs first list things to do this spring. Rusty, are you gonna put a picture of yourself on the wrap? Ooh, I like that. There you go. Need to do it like the A1 guy, right? Get his picture on there. Whatever he's got. He's got a wrench or something he's holding, I think. Spend money, Google. He says LSA. He says PPC for CRM. Evan, I don't want all. As this says, Husband's mad at me. Oh, that's funny. Tony, that's right, Dave. Take care of the customers. They'll tell their friends. It'll just go on and on. Yeah, it's a slow process. I mean, Tony's actually really in a good like situation. I mean, he kind of you know, he can work from a minivan. I think Rich does too, and so or a truck. You know what I mean? So he's got you know, and it's like the customers really don't care. They just care that you show up. They want to know, you know, they want you to fix a problem. I mean, so it kind of goes back to like my builder, right? I know a builder guy, and like I said, this is a million dollar business, right? It might even be up to $1 billion now. But the guy runs around, the guy that he doesn't own it, but he's pretty close. He's like third in line from the ownership in a sense. But he runs around in a minivan with like no labels, no nothing, and it always blows my mind. And I mean, they're doing these huge jobs that you're just like, they're building huge red steel buildings, and you're just like, what? Like, this guy runs around? I mean, but when he gets out, he's got that energy. He's all like fluffy chest, and he'll be out there barking orders and telling the customer, and he's talking with the customer and sitting there with the customer going, And I'm sitting there going like, isn't this guy like supposed to have like the big work truck and 4-door, and like he's supposed to have the ladder racks on there and his name across the side? Nope. That's not how they run their business. And they have their guys show up. I've had some people say like, well, I would never, you know, and I go, I don't think people like I got contractors now. I don't care, man. I get life. I get that these guys are working for a living. They're blue collared, you know, like they got a beater. Good for them. Good for them, man. They might have a lot of money rolling in the bank, and I don't know about it. Like, I can't judge it. You know what I mean? Like, don't judge a book by its cover. You know, whatever, man. They're driving whatever they're driving. They're on the job doing whatever. They're skilled. They do their job. You know, so there's a lot of misconception on how stuff is supposed to work. You know what I mean? Like as I've gotten older, I look at it and I just you know, like I've never had I just never had anybody even say anything. It's like they just always are focused on their problem. Like, what are you going to do to fix my problem? And like, how fast can you do it, and how cheap can you do it, or what's the price? I shouldn't say so cheap, but it's just like they like it cheap. Trust me. But it's also like, well, how fast can you do it, and what's the price? You know what I mean? And you tell them, you do your job, you give them whatever, tell them if there's a warranty, no warranty, and you go on with your day, and they're happy. They spread the word. You know, if you did a good job, put a sticker, give them a business card. Have them do it like maybe a Google review, blah, blah, blah. 12 by, was it 22 by 12 rooms? He got wrapped. He says, my personal truck. He says, my Duramax. He says, decal waiting on a new service body to get redone. Read my reviews. I first started out, guy says, truck don't look very good. He says, but the guy knew what he was doing. Ah, that's great, dude. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's great. She says, I think a nicer looking Surfield that as well. He says, stocked, organized, strong selling point for most customers. I think it definitely helps. It doesn't even have to be like, it can have a little bit like it, you know, if you can keep it, you know, semi-clean and stuff like that. I don't think it hurts, but I don't think it's it's kind of like that whole thing. Like, I still couldn't believe that nobody, when I worked for Lowe's, like nobody, I just couldn't believe, like, I was always waiting. It was like, I was always waiting. I was like, hi customer, how are you? I shake their hands, and I was always waiting. I'd be like, what does your shirt say? Oh, it says affordable DOOR Gate. Who are you? You know, what, you know, it was just like, they were like, whatever, I already paid for it. Just fix it, please. And let me know when you're done. Oh. Evan, what's your website? Brent, I think it's Evan's Graduates CA service. You see my profile. I agree, Rusty. Sweet rims. Just for me. Oh, yeah. Don't expect much, Brent. Aware. Don't expect much, Brent. Aware it's crap. Yeah. Yeah, the website stuff, it takes time, you know. It takes time, energy, money. Chevy came on 20s from the factory. He says, so was mine. I had to overdo it a bit. Do garage doors uses by day. I have a truck built by night, he says. That's yeah, it's a blessing. Oh yeah, I get it. Warren Buffett, he drives an old Buick. The Warren Buffett, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think it just all depends on, you know, I think it all kind of depends on what you want, you know. I think it really does. I mean, I got the old Nissan, and I think I'm, you know, basically the only one semi-retired out of the whole bunch, you know what I mean? So, beside maybe Rich or something, maybe Tony too, I don't know. But it just depends, you know. Like I said, I've been there, I've done that, and it's kind of one of those things you have to work your ass off to pay for that. You know, that's why, like I said, you know, hey, I like the Raptor, but I didn't like the bill to fix it, and I didn't like the fuel it sucked. It just adds up, you know what I mean? And it's all depends, like I said, and you know, for me, I'm in that stage where I enjoy the hell out of, you know, working with my kids and enjoy helping other people. And, you know, I like swinging a hammer and stuff like that. And I like doing some of the garage doors, and I like working on the rental properties. And I definitely, you know, I want more of that though. You know what I mean? Like I like the freedom. I like even cruising around a little bit. I like coming down and, you know, helping Josh and stuff like that. You know, hopefully eventually maybe get out with Tony and, you know, Tanner, get to see some of those big doors at some point. Maybe even Rusty, you know, all that kind of stuff. Like I said, it's just, I enjoy that stuff very much. It's great to see, you know, and I love seeing the new guys, you know, where it's like if we can try to help nurture them somewhat, and they don't have to. It's like I always tell like Caleb, you know, I always tell him, I always say, hey man, so you don't have to take. I don't expect you to always take my advice 100%, but I'm gonna give you my point of view, and hopefully you'll get a nugget out of it, and you'll go, you know what, I do see what he's saying. You know what I mean? Like I can kind of agree with that, and that's why within business, everybody's situation is different, right? I mean, some people want to go to the moon. Some people just want to have the freedom. Some people want to be retired. Some people want to make a lot more money. It just all depends on what you want to do. You know what I mean? That's what's the great part about it. You know, it's just there's a lot of flexibility in it, on how you want to run things. You know. But there's a lot of moving parts. And I can tell you by far, I feel like the rentals are a lot easier. That's just me. There is a lot of, you know, a lot of things working against you in business. You know, I think we just got hit with, I don't know if it's happened in your state or not, but we just got hit with, you know, they're supposed to have, they're increasing it now to have more, sick time and stuff like that, which I'm all for. Whatever it's got to be, it is. But it's like when the government gets involved, that kind of stuff irritates me. Where it's like when you start brainwashing, in a sense, certain things, you know, because you know, I think the employer should take care of, and you know, and we try to be really generous with obviously certain things. We're not high pressure. But when they start feeding things, that gets to be a little irritating. You know what I mean? Because people hear things and then they go, "Well, you know what? It's the Uncle Sam said I should have half the year off if I want to," and then you have to find read the fine print, and you got to go, "Well, it doesn't really quite say that. It's going to be." So there's a lot of ups and downs. Old Buick. So I did throw some money at it to get it started. I wanted 6 openers and rails in stock. get some openers. Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, you can, like I said, or you use the box stores. You know, if they are your warehouse. As Papa Tony always jokes around with, tell them to restock your warehouse. Live. It's Nebraska. He says, see his house. Is pretty plain Jane. He says, only 3 hours from us. We have driven by it a few times. And sister is said to have the house Arnold's Park on. One of the lakes we have in our area. That's interesting. I get the van washed every morning when I leave. Yeah, that's a good idea because my truck is dusty right now. I don't know if there's those dust storms we had come through and that's when I got hit, but this truck, I just never seen this kind of dust, man. It said it was coming from the plains. We had some bad air quality going on. One of my viewers said he's looking into those garage door training centers, might look into checking out whatever I look at getting into commercial. What's up, Mr. Freeze? Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know. I think, you know, like I said, you got to take it with a grain of salt. I mean, I feel like kind of like training is, it's never, I guess it depends on what it is. It's just, I think sometimes we can focus on, so like for instance, right, for me personally, I've had it before. I can watch a lot of YouTube videos. So thanks for being here, because I'm with you. But I can watch a lot of YouTube videos, and then there's a point I can read a lot of books. I can take a lot of seminars, and there's a point where I go, come on, Dave, think. I go, what really needs to happen is you need to get off your ass and you need to get to work. You know what I mean? Like you got to go out and swing the hammer. You got to go out and put the signs. You got to go out and get the business cards. You actually got to, that's the hard part, right? It's easy to spend money or easy to buy the truck. Well, not really, or whatever, or easy to buy all the stuff, the shirts, you know, that's easy, right? That's easy. Spend the money is easy. Making the money is super hard. So, you know, it's kind of like you just gotta be kind of smart. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I've read a lot of books, and there is things that'll open up your eyes and open up your mind. But most of it really comes down to, like, I went to, kind of hate even saying this, but I went to, years ago, more along on the, I felt bad. I was kind of rude, I guess, to my wife, because we went to a Dave Ramsey. It was with another couple in our family. They wanted to go. We're going to go to this Dave Ramsey, you know, blah. All right, whatever, sure. Go to this big arena, right? We're in there for the Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey comes out, tells you about debt, blah, 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 blah. And I'm sitting there just like this. Oh, this guy's just, yep, I already know this. Now, it brung stuff to the surface. I will give him that. Hey, you're not supposed to turn off. And, so it brung stuff to the surface. It kind of gave you like that kick in the butt again. Like, yeah, I know that, but I really wasn't doing that, so I should do this. Yeah, I probably could save on this or help with this or make a little more here, whatever. But oh my gosh, I was really bored, and she was super excited. She's like, oh my gosh, isn't it? And I'm just sitting there, even my other family member, and I'm just sitting there like, this is all common sense. This is common sense. And I'm like, yeah, it's great. Well, then, of course, we go to leave, right? And they are just pushy on pushy on pushy. You know, you can buy this seminar, you know, you can buy this book. And I'm just like, get me the out of here. Like, dude, I don't want to buy, like, I'm good. Like, I'm good. I already paid whatever it was, $60, $100 to come in this damn thing. You know, I'm here. Like, you got me. Now you're trying to get me at the door, and I'm ticked. Like, I'm just like, get me out. So what I'm getting at is sometimes you just got to watch a lot of this stuff. Is you got to remember they're making money, you know, they're making money off you. You know, that's kind of where, and not saying it's all bad. It's just, most time it's just actions. Most of the time, instead of playing video games, put a post. You know, that's what I would do. I used to every night when I'd lay in bed, I'd say, I can't lay here in bed and just watch whatever. I gotta actually put a post, you know, so I'd post something, because when you do it, you start learning the algorithms, right? You figure out the blowback. Ooh, I can't quite put that in the verbiage on Facebook Marketplace, let's just say, because it's going to get flagged. Ooh, I tried to do this and this didn't work. So tomorrow I'm going to try this because it wants 24 hours, or I'm going to delete it. I'm going to put something else. Ooh, you know what? Uncle Dave talked about Craigslist. It's still out there. You know, nobody really looks at it anymore, but I've gotten jobs from it. Put something on Craigslist, put something on Nextdoor. I knew somebody that was watching here on the channel was telling me how they would do it every morning. They put something on Nextdoor, put a picture, got done with another satisfied customer. Let us know if you know, that builds excitement. It really does. I see it all the time. I'm always like looking at people's stuff. I might never comment. I might never hit the thumbs up. I might never say nothing, but I'll be like, oh, that guy does a lot of remodel. Well, I'm going to take a screenshot of that because you know what? I got some stuff coming up that I might need. And I'm going to document his number, or I know where I seen it and I'll go back, you know, for certain things. So you just never know. And even though you think it's stupid, somebody else might think it's gold. Like, you know, like when you think about it, right? Even Craigslist. So if you got stuff you want to post, right? Craigslist will do it kind of anonymously, right? Where Facebook is, I mean, good luck. They're pretty much every Tom, Dick, and Harry is going to know who posted it, or they're going to see you, or whatever, or check your profile, do whatever they're going to do. But Craigslist is pretty, you know, so some people really like that. So you just never know. You know, there's a lot of free stuff out there. So you might as well use it, putting out the signs, you know, and finding out what townships are going to yank them, put them on, stapling them, you know, having the cojones, right, to go out there and staple it, or do it in the evening, or do it during the day, or stand, like I always wanted to do it. I figured I'd get a news cruise, right? I was going to stand out there, like the homeless person, right? And be like, I don't want your money, I want your business. You know, I was going to do a little sign, have a little stack of business cards, right? Stand out there. I'm probably not like a homeless, just be dressed decent, like a business, you know, or whatever, like a technician, business guy, whatever, you know, just have a sign, you know what I mean? Get out there. If you're hungry, there's ways, you know. Like I said, Steve and Jesus, Stevis is what we call him. The guy who walks around all the time, picks up pop cans. He's got 2 bags, man. He's working harder than probably 80% or whatever, 60% of some of the Americans that are just sitting on the couch. Howdy's what Mr. Eric's got. Yeah, 20-hour week for 40 hours pay. Howdy, Air, what's up? Just living. That's my plan, Rich. Tony says, word on the street, April 1st, 25% increase, 25%. What the hell? How dare him come on here? Get rid of that guy. That Tony guy needs to go. Talking that negativity. 25% increase. I gotta have a drink. Need a paper bag. Oh, 25% increase. I don't like that. Using to put on PVC outdoor weather strip. I believe mine's an 18. No, wait. Is mine the 16? Mine's a 16. Tony uses 18. I'm a 16 gauge. I'm really believing I would go with the Walt stuff, to be honest, because they got that centrifugal, whatever, the mechanical hammer thing in it, the belt-driven one or whatever, versus the air-powered stuff. I don't know. I've just been having problems with some of that stuff. Ever after hammer and nails. Oh, Evan, just come down here to Iowa. I'll be the best commercial garage door training you'll ever get, probably. And he says, I'll train you for free. Heck yeah, man. That's true. Evan, you always can come over here to this place right here. You can come. We'll work you for free too, right? As long as you pick up the other end of those garage doors. Oh yeah, they're not as big either. They're not as big, and it has heavy. One thing, I guess, about my day job, he says I can take, it says an infinite unpaid leave, absence to keep my benefits, and my business really picks up. Oh, yeah, see, that's a good way. That's a good way of thinking right there. I like that. Ever after DeWalt trim nailer. There you go. Free labor for me, free training for you. Win-win. Yeah, I like that. Love it. This is rusty, then you break air trim and have to go back to the shop. Oh, yes, you gotta go back, right? It says, I'll take you up on that, Tanner. He says, I learned for free so I can be, what it says, arrested. Too much power. There you go. All right, Rusty's got too much power in the arm. What's Evan or Eric's got here? He says those dust storms were crazy. I know, man. I'm telling you. I learned a lot about garage doors by following a pro. He says ask questions, use common sense. Oh yeah, yeah. There's so much you can learn now, especially like I just can't. I'm watching another day. I was watching something about like what was it, gutters. I was watching something about a pump. I mean, you can learn, and like I said, most of it's really just getting out there and just doing it. You know, it's just, yeah, I mean, I don't know about you. I feel pretty unstoppable with YouTube, man. YouTube University, man. I can go on there. I can watch about 3 different videos, watch some short videos. I'm watching that stuff when I'm eating breakfast. I'll be watching it when I'm eating lunch. Always absorbing that information, and I'm watching these pros and I'm just like, oh, okay. I'm like, use a string. Oh yeah, that makes sense. That's way easier than trying to level or something or whatever you're trying to do. And then the biggest thing is just getting out there and doing something that you feel comfortable with, and then you start expanding as you grow. You know, and it just takes time. It just takes time. It takes experience. That's why what do they always say? Like experience never outspeeds like knowledge. I don't know what it is. There's something like that, but it's just I would agree. You know, you just have confidence. Like I said, there's nothing that I pretty much walk up to now, especially garage door related. There'd be one I could think of. I remember those what was that? That was those like airplane hanger doors with those cables. The cable can be a little tricky, but I got through it with tech support the first time. I can get through it again. But most time, like I said, big garage doors, crooked, whatever. Yep. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. But yeah, those dust storms were crazy, man. My truck is still hit from it. Clouds. I was telling the wife, I said, man, I said, it looks like a hell of a storm up north or something. I said, what is, and I realized as we got going through the day, it was like, holy cow. And then it was talking on the news network, we're going out for ice cream. And I'm like, the kids are like coughing, doing something. I don't remember what was going on. And I'm just sitting there just like, is it because you heard it on the radio, now you're thinking about it? Or is it really because you're, you know, I was fine, but ew, that was nasty stuff. Do. Says, hold it to you. He says, you have to eat your Wheaties. He says, I'll save the 30-foot. Oh my gosh, doors for you. Why would you be arrested? Because I'm in Canada. Yeah, right. You got Trump in the office, man. He's out. There. Oh, there you go. Look at that. Russ is gonna. Evan's gonna need a set of cowboy boots. I'll buy the boots. I'll buy the boots. Eric says once you read a Dave Ramsey book, he says all that stuff is common sense. I know. That's why I was so bored. I don't think I really was like. I was pretty neutral probably going to it, you know, to the you know, but I don't know. It was just kind of, you know how certain things hit you, like you ever like notice like people's reactions, like, so like I remember this when I went to this big I don't remember who was even hosting it, if it was the IDA one or what it was, but we went down to the show, and how do I explain it? Like it felt like I was at like a high school reunion, kind of watching people dance, but they're like all salespeople, and like people are getting like they're getting tipsy, man. And I'm like there, and I'm kind of like, and then I was like, I remember the Genie rep at the time. the guy kept coming, we were already talking prior to this, and I was really interested because we were having problems with LiftMaster, and so I was a little more green, and the genie guy's just like, beforehand, right? It was always like, I'll take you out to dinner. You want to go out to dinner? The guy was always hungry. He was a bigger, not super big by any means, but he was a bigger dude, and I'm like, yeah. So I'd be sitting there and like, I'm literally like eating a meal, thinking to myself like with him, and I'm just like, I could like really care less about the meal. It's great. I got a good lunch out of it. That's very nice, but I'm really like so focused on like I am just trying to find a product that I don't have callbacks on. And he's like, "Oh yeah, we only got 1% in our whole company." And I'm like, "Really? Like no way." Like I'm like, "Dude, like this is a big move for me." I'm like, "I'm a small garage door company. Like this is a big like I've been always a lift master. Like this is like I don't have no clue about these genies. I've only done them through like Lowe's and stuff." And he always was like bugging me, like he's like, so you ready to buy a skid yet? I'm like, no, not quite yet. I just don't know which model I want to go with yet. Blah blah. And I remember we went to that show, or whatever, and I didn't know my vendor guy was going to be there, but I got kind of snookered in a little bit. So my one vendor, that's the biggest one in Michigan, was there, and I could just tell on his face that in a nutshell, he was so over this. He's been doing this for he's been doing it a lot longer than I have. And I could just tell by like his reactions and stuff, like he's like, yeah, like, I'm here because of like the free cookies, but I'm like ready to go anytime. And I just thought, what does he know that I don't know? And that stuff always kind of fascinates me. So I kind of got from that drift of that seminar and stuff a little bit that I kind of went, I think it's more or less like a lot of salespeople, and they're trying to sell you something, and they got something out of me because we're sitting there, we're talking, the music's playing in the background, and he's like, you want to buy a skid? You like, you want to buy a skid of openers? And I had a job coming up that I was doing commercial. And I was like, yeah, I'll try them out. They're actually Lanier. They were making the Lanier, garage door openers. So the vendor was there, and now my other vendor, that's the biggest one in Michigan, is there. And now I thought he's going to buy the skid, and I'm going to buy like, I think I needed, I don't know what it was, 8 or 15 openers or something like that off the skid. So I'm like we're all talking and the music's playing, and I'm like, yeah, I'm like, so you're good with getting a skid? And he's like, yeah. He's like, if you're going to buy some of them. And I'm like, yeah, maybe buy some of them. I don't know. Something got confused. Anyways, he orders them, right? So he gets them. I go to my vendor that I had a good relationship with. That's the biggest one in Michigan. And he's like, when are you going to buy the rest of these openers? And I'm like, what do you mean by the rest? He's like, you bought a skid. And I'm like, I didn't buy a skid. I needed only like 8 or whatever it was, 12 or whatever it was for this job. I didn't realize I had to buy how many was on a skid, whatever, 20 or something, whatever. I mean, commercial ones. So they're big. And I'm like, so now I got stuck with these openers I got to buy that I really don't need, that I didn't have you know what I mean? So everything gets roped in. And so when I seen them there, and you just start getting kind of a different picture that, maybe I'm the beta test, you know what I mean? Maybe I'm the guinea pig, you know what I mean? And they're just trying to, give you all the gushy stuff that, oh yeah, things are good and things are great and our products doesn't stink, and so you don't really notice that when you're green, when you're new, you know what I mean? You just think, oh my gosh, and you're talking to other people and you just, think the world's endless and oh, their product that they're using, they're having good luck. And like I said, it's not bad stuff. It's not bad stuff to get nuggets, but it's just when you start kind of cutting through the bull crap, you start realizing that some of these people are working on commission, or they just want to make the sale to you, and that's your problem, and they're not even selling you a good product or something. That's when things get a little hairy, a little wonky in my eyes. I think I digressed on something here. I don't know what I did. Evan, oh no, it jumped on me. Evan, when you're done with Tanner, come on over Indiana, give you some, was this Hosser's training? So we got Tanner. Yeah, see, it all work out perfect. Go to Tanner, go to Tony, go up and go Uncle Dave, you go over to Rusty. That's good. You can make a big swoop, man. You're doing great. That's what I used to do. I used to do that with Lowe's. You got to make the swoop, man. Then Pennsylvania for some business training. There you go. Shoot, you got. It's like a band, right? I mean, it's like you got your whole tour set up for the whole year. I like it. Tony, don't give him our secrets. What's that? Eric's got. He says, how easy is it to get into the phone book? Phone book, man. Who uses a? I haven't seen a phone book in years. Do they even exist? Normally, you just got to talk to whoever the rep is. You just call whoever the phone book agent is. Tell them you're interested. They'll send you a rep. They'll try to suck you. Sound of free. Oh, he likes the sound of free labor. How was the basketball? Oh, Eric, if you get your money, put your name in there. You don't need it through. Though he says internet's better. We call it trade labor. There you go. We call it the trade labor. It sounds less racist. Or was that? Says you have to. Oh, it jumped on me again. You have to come and find out. Evan, let's see. Eric says, good point, Tony. People probably don't use phone book anymore. I don't think I know anybody. My mom would be the one that would use a phone book, and I don't remember ever being there and her pulling out a phone book anymore. Her phone books were always like 3 years old anyways, but I'm pretty sure it'd all be done on the old interweb. Oh, I like this. The American Garage. Oh, see? I like that. That's a good one. American Garage Door Tour. Perfect, man. There you go. There you go. You can make video of it. That'd be great. Eric says, I get a few jobs. It's cheap, so I continue. Oh, I jumped on me to use it. Tanner says, did you just come up with movie title, Evan? Heck yeah. Heck yeah, man. What's Tony got here? That boy, Dave DeWalt. Oh, I knew it. I knew it. See, he's trying to get me. Tony's trying to get me to the other side. He's trying. It's rubbing off. Dang him. Or is it our band name? Oh, I seen something here. It jumped on me. Was that the Thinking Music tour through Tanner? That band name, get tattoos. Oh, here we go with the tattoos, son of a biscuit. Get the brute winder. What's up, part-time? That's cool, I like it. What's up, guys? What's this say here? Will be music tour, DeWalt, guns, hammering it out. That's right. Part-time, been watching you for years. You been just hiding? Got any questions? Got anything coming up? You doing the garage doors? What you doing? I'm sure Tony would do it. It says, oh, it's a part-time. Yeah, Tanner, I've got one tattoo so far. Let's see here. Do you guys know a great place to get the nylon rollers? Ooh, I don't know. I'd probably say Service Spring, but they might be. They could probably find them cheaper through Amazon. For the one more, Joey says I have a few. I better not let my wife around Tanner. She likes tattoos. Look to buy them in bulk. Service Spring or Denko. That's what Tanner's got. Amazon. Find them cheaper. Sealed packs for a decent price on the old Amazon. Tony, how's it hanging, bud? Sealed bearings, I meant. Sealed. We talking like car wash rollers or what? Hard beats, tail, maybe. What you got? Tony says, yeah. He says that, oh yeah, the tattoos. Hanging in. I'm gonna turn the truck on. Fogging up a little bit. Plus my feet getting a little cold. I like those blue sealed ones. I know those are crazy. They got different colors. Those on what door? Holding up. They're still holding up. That's good. Oh, jumped on me. You can still get sealed rollers on Amazon or Service Spring and believe Dentco. Says I've sent customer your way over the years. I don't know if that's for me or for who. Anyone see Service Spring's new catalog? They have a 3-inch perimeter seal. Oh. Pesky short trim doors. 2-inch stuff won't cover. Oh, that's nice. Wow, I'm kind of glad you brought that up, Tanner, because I know that one place, our biggest opener dealer in Michigan, they were the only ones I knew, because I actually got them here at the shop because it's like a pole barn, the metal didn't wrap far enough. So I used that big old 3-inch, and they were the only ones that I could ever get the stuff from that I knew, So I used to have to it seemed like I had to get that seal from them, and they're the only ones that had I think we've talked about this before, is like the Clopay seal. That's the weird, different T style seal. So that was always the two things I couldn't find it anywhere else. I couldn't source it out anywhere else. So that's cool that Service Springs got it now, though. That way everybody's got access to some degree. Tanner, I still haven't opened the catalog yet. Been sitting on my dash. Tony says, I got new flyer, but I haven't seen it. I'll check it out. Yeah, thanks for the heads up. Yeah, because I think I seen the one in the shop. I think we got one too. Me too. It came in the mail, wrapped in plastic. Ooh. They're trying to show their stuff, huh? It says, Tanner says, I'll just make you a shirt that says, don't stab me. He says, I'm coming back from a funeral. Tanner, he says, I ordered my 3-inch trim through Clopay, but they are limited on color selection. Ooh, maybe I didn't think of that. Maybe Service Springs got a few more options or something. I've only ever got white in that trim. I didn't know there was any. I didn't know they give you it. I didn't know there was another option. So that'd be cool if they did. Might as well. That's like the best book ever. I can't believe it. Just sitting on your dash part time. Yeah, sitting on your dash. Text things. He says, reminds me of Sears catalog. Really? Rusty said it reminds me of a Sears catalog. What is? Did it have the binder on it? Was that the one that came in? I seen something with a binder on it or whatever, the wire mesh or something. 20, maybe not the best book, but definitely overdue. I won't argue ever after. Appreciate sharing your wisdom. Experience. Dave never put more on plate than you can eat. That is very true. That is very true. Very true, man. Very true. It's a very difficult balance. And as a young man, you got so much shit to go through. You so do. There's so many things. You need to go in the closet and you need to cry by yourself. You know what I mean? Because there's nobody out there that's going to save you. You know what I mean? You have to be the leader, the provider, the common sense, the figure outer. So many things weigh on and then by the time you try to add in kids, marriage, business, government, people trying to take stuff out of your pocket. There's a lot. There's a lot that goes into it. A ton. Rusty, I remember as a kid flipping through those doors, check out Craftsman garage door openers. The garage doors. It's funny because somebody came across a clip. I think it was Tony or Rich B or somebody, and they were showing that video, and it was like, I think it was Tony that mentioned it. He goes, man, he says somebody says the prices really haven't changed from the 80s to now, and I'm like, that's exactly what I'm trying to say. These damn openers in the box stores, the prices have not, they're always like $200, $200 to $300. And it kills us guys, you know, where it's like we go out and try to, you know, sell an opener for $600, $800, $1,200, $5,000. And people are like, but I can go to the store and it's like $200. And I'm like, but mine is better. But I just need it to like open and close. I know you use Bic lighters, but don't you want a Zippo? You know? Well, not really. Nobody even sees it. It's not cool like a car or anything. You know, it's not even the outside of the garage door. And my neighbors don't even see it. I don't even get to keep up with the Joneses. It's just a stupid opener. I'm like, I know, but it's going to have a lifetime warranty on the motor. Yeah, but what if you're not in business? Oh, I didn't think of that. What if you go back? I don't know. Yeah. Updated once a year. Says, you need to go to my channel, check out the sinker. Oh, the sinker stopper. Yeah, Tony needs to put his thing on here. It's Tony's garage door service. That's how I find them. Rusty, Tanner, see. Nice, Rusty. Yeah, I think it's same. A service spring, maybe. Yes. Yeah, like Forney says to me, I opened it up and just got lost. He says my wife was like, are you going to talk to me? I was like, no, busy. Oh, that's funny. I was just taking... Eric says, Genie rep about the 3024 versus more basic units with lights on the back. Apparently, due to the tariffs, they are going to raise the price on their basic units. Yeah, that's a bummer, man. I don't know. You know, it's kind of like what my stepdad always told me, you know? It's kind of one of those things they always said, the middle class always pays. And it seems like we always pay. The working, you know, like... Part-time says, yeah, they already upped the prices for the D2101s. How much are they? 7 foot... I have what he says is gonna be part-time. It's got $179 before tax. How much do you guys charge installed? What state are you in? Part-time depends what we're taking down. Generally $1 to $750 for labor. Does not have oh yeah, your mom's like mine. Does she have a roll text? Yeah, my mom, she's got the phone book and everything. I mean, she's kind of the old school. Still even got a telephone in the old house. Still got the old phone number. Nothing but solicitation calls nowadays, pretty much. I'll say I've had no major issues with any Genie products. All the issues were due to misuse, like power surges and unbalanced doors. Yeah. Genies still don't like the power. They do not like power surges. Genies are very hard to use. The wiring that comes with the Genie are very hard. Well, there was the RPM sensor plague. Yeah, the RPM thing was for, I think that's what kind of turned Cap off for a while for the Genies, because they just had to go back. They were so nice to give us so many, but yeah, that was unfortunate. Part-time's a 3-piece for real on Genie's. They always give me hell. Maybe it's just me though. Yeah, I don't like if you're using a 3-piece, the rails I'm not a big fan of. You do the 1-piece, the C channels, the professional, I think they call them, professional series. Those are a lot nicer. I like those, you know, but yeah, the piece together ones, I think Chamberlain still works the best for those out of the box stores, the ones that clip together pretty much, you know, got the little barbs. Anything Eric Scott? Oh, I'm glad you asked. Let's go for a walk. We'll take a look. We got power. See if the old flashlight will hold up. I don't know if I got this thing charged. I like this little guy. Let's go check it out. Let's go check the dumpster out. I was waiting for somebody. I thought, who's going to ask about the dumpster? It's always Mr. Freeze. He's always on it. So we'll put our little light on. I won't even bring another light, which will be good. It'll be good to get out of the vehicle for a moment. I need to stretch my legs. Maybe this one will work for us for a minute. Oh, it says it's got one. No? Did it just flash? I don't know what it's doing. I don't think I got much for flashlight power in this puppy. Hey, you know what? We'll drive back there. It's a little chilly out there. Let's see if we can fire up the gate. The old gate that was saved from the old Coast Guard. I wonder if we got any coppers over there today or at the church watching. No coppers today. Must be out busy. All right. But when you're at your own shop, like we've learned before, you always shut the gate though, because unfortunately they will come in here. So, but they won't come through if the gate, well, at least as far as I know. I can't see where I'm going. I can see. I think they must have moved the dumpster out of the way. Let's take a look, shall we? Got the scrap one. I haven't seen the scrap one in a while, so I'm kind of excited for myself. See if there's anything good there. Oh, the gate didn't close. No, I'm gonna close it if I can. If it will. There it goes. There goes the gate. Poor gate. Oh, got 2 people walking down the road too. Good thing I closed the gate. Just never know, man. Ski town, man. Wait for them to pass for a second. Yeah, you just never know. They got all kinds of weird stuff. Be dark for a second. Don't mind it. It's like they did the Houdini. All right, let's see what we got here. Let's see if we can flip the old camera around. Ah, yes. We got robbed. We got robbed. Does anybody know what these are, though? I'll show you what this is. We've been noticing our systems have had this camera system or something on them. It's kind of weird. Dumpster, I don't know if it tells them how full it is. I have no clue what this box is. It's got to obviously have something in it, some camera or something. Oh, this place is just empty. Even the raccoons can't get nothing. Oh, I got a little shake down there, maybe. Huh. Hello, old girl. Not much going on. Dumpster's empty. Got the new scissor lift in the fleet. It's a rental. This camera is not focusing. Other one's just sitting over there. Why are you not focusing? You naughty phone. Oh man, it's so cold. This is interesting. It doesn't focus. Huh. Anywho.
Anywho, we're gonna go where it's warm. It is stinking cold out here, man. I was hot all day, and I'm like, it is just chilly out here. All right. All right, here we go. Here we go. Well, that was a bummer. Nothing. It's all gone. It's all wiped out. Not cool. Not cool. We'll go back up front. Go back up front. I always get a little concerned because there's a house that sits over here. And I think I know who's in that one, but I always worry that they're gonna be like, be the ones that like call the cops and be like, what is this dude? Like, there's nobody should be over there right now. Like, what are they doing? I'll come up and check out your comments. I was smashing this gate, which wouldn't be the end of the world because it needs to be replaced. The welds are getting bad on the bottom of the wind bar. It's another to-do list for the summertime. Off to the willy weeds. All right. All right. What are we at? What are we doing? What do we got going here? Oh, the heat feels good. Part-time supervisor, Jeans always gave me home, ace to see. Anything in the dumpster empty. Oh, do you guys think 60K is possible for one guy garage door biz? It depends. I mean, it probably is. I mean, I'd say 30 is more realistic, 30, 40. But I mean, if you're out hustling and you're charging enough, I mean, I guess, it's possible putting 70 hours in, a week. Install 18 says they are a pain. Rusty, I'm raising prices tomorrow. Raise them up. Ever after. Question is, how much you want to work? Over 500 is possible with one person in the field and office, or $1 million for 2 people. Is an interest to see how this all works out. You just need to test the waters depending on how much competition and your demographic. He says, see what the prices are wrong. He says, most expensive, but if you're overcharging, you probably won't get any calls after a while. Your price has to be in line with the value that you're providing. Eric says, I got to get some struts for my door that I was ran into. He says it's finally starting to buckle and still do the cables adjustments and limits are probably some new rollers. Ever after, he says, I did over 100 my first year. I said, I checked my competition, still don't know. Oh, I jumped. I mean, that set the prices based on overhead, usually your profit margins. Very true, Rusty, but also with what Dave was just saying. What the hell was that? Just a car? Okay, I'll make sure that was a cop. Saying anyone cannot, doesn't matter how good you are. If you have a solid gold opener, Manny can watch a YouTube video. Tony says, true. Yeah, I think it just all depends. Like I said, everybody's demographic's different. You know what I mean? The prices can be pretty, they can be pretty volatile. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, like for us even, we got limitations. We normally, I mean, just like with any of the bigger stuff that we do that we have very little competition with, we still got people that'll give like 3 bids.
you know, for like gate operators and stuff like that. So, you know, it's a hard balance, you know, because I feel like Tony's like a good balance, right? Like Tony's got um that wholesomeness. He does a good job. He's friendly with the customers. Then they refer him. You know what I mean? And in my eyes, honestly, it's like if you're like when I was starting out, like I don't care, man. $20 is $20. You know what I mean? So like that's why I kind of say like if you can go out and even if you do like free service calls or do them for a very small, it might rope into something else where you can charge a little bit more. But you know, I'm sure there's a lot of us that are you know, tuned in right now that you know, like we shop the AutoZone, we shop the whatever, the Advance, right? We go to Amazon, right? Because don't tell me there's nobody here that hasn't shopped Amazon or had somebody buy them stuff through Amazon, right? Well, why do you go to Amazon, right? Well, because they provide a good service and they provide it's cheap and it shows up at my doorstep. Why wouldn't I? Why do you shop at Walmart? You know, it's just the nature of the beast, you know. And a lot of people out there, you know, don't have, and that's where you got to balance. You know what I mean? There is people out there that'll take advantage of you, and some people are just not worth your time. Um, so you gotta balance it out. You know, you gotta see. You know, there is a threshold. You know, I mean, yeah. I mean, would I like to have a brand new building? Hell yeah. I mean, would I like to have a brand new truck like every 6 months? Hell yeah. But do I get that opportunity? No, because the market doesn't allow. You know what I mean. Like, and I don't want to work 120 hours a week. You know, it's just not there. You know, could I get more employees that could? Yes. You know, you could. There's so many. Everybody's situation is different. It's so different. Oh, what's this guy here? Tanner, very true, Rusty. Tony says true. Eric says I hate those original square on the genies. That's what a lot of people. I haven't done the genies so much. The square tubings. I always just tell people they're doing box stars. I'm always like, get a Chamberlain. Just get a Chamberlain. It's easier. Or about doing a trail, but they are not having it due to the tariffs. Sold a box store opener for change in your pocket. You won't make, he says, but you still need to have your price to keep the lights on and put your kids through college. That's because you're trying to market it to cheap people to who value money over time. Wealthy customers don't care about prices. Their time is more valuable than what they could save price checking. Rusty, I just bought a company who was in business for 30 years and let's say I've been going for 15. It's not all about what you want to make. Sometimes we live in the biggest money area in Iowa in the Midwest. What does it say, Tony? Steel price is up right now. Yeah, I think it's I've been hearing that. Somebody, you know, one of you guys mentioned, I think it was Rich B, mentioned about the scrap prices. I'm gonna start being a scrapper pretty soon. And somebody else was mentioning, I just talked to somebody local and they were like, oh, scrap metal's up. And I'm like, I just heard that from a guy, you know, on the channel. And I said, dang, you know, that theirs actually was higher than I thought. What Rich, I thought Rich said it was like 200 a ton. They were like 240 or 280. I was like, dang. I was like, man, I'm gonna have to start being a scrapper. Tanner Scott. For that matter, I'm just saying you need to read the area. Sometimes I'm all for making what you can for sure. Yes, I'm right there with you on the time over money. We are the best in the area by far, and we still get multimillionaires going over prices. That's how you stay rich. He says, yeah, right. He says, I'm not saying do jobs for less, do good business, but you need to base your prices off your overhead. Let's see here. Has anyone ever heard messed up with LiftMaster Maximum Commercial Ops yet? Here messed with the. I haven't done it. They're more expensive. It sounds like more expensive. I don't want to be the guinea pig. I don't like being a guinea pig on anything, on the new vehicles. I don't like it to be on the openers. I let that all run its course. This is yep. He says Kevin's got some he's been doing. Let's see, Tanner and payroll. We have 7-8 people on staff and regular, but if you're overpricing in there just because we know what we are doing instead of what our area is willing to pay, we won't stay in. Yeah. What's Kevin got? Very long. Eric's got, hey Kevin. Eric, we installed hundreds. Eric, we have installed hundreds of the maximums. And Evan's garage. It's after midnight there. Holy cow, it is after midnight. Wow. I realized I was late. Well, sweet. I'll probably start wrapping her up. I was thinking about going to 11 or something. I thought it was 11, 12, not 12. So yeah, it's got a little late. Good thing you brought that up. I was reading all the comments, having a good time. I was still sitting here thinking, nothing in the scrap hopper and nothing in the garbage. It's like we got ramsacked. It's all gone. Yeah, so the big thing is, like I said, everybody's market's different with the garage door stuff. You just gotta use your best judgment. I don't think it still hurts to call around a little bit, and yes, you do have to kind of figure out, but that's why it also helps a lot too. If you keep your overhead low, like if you're just like, I can't compete with the chuck in a truck. You know what I mean? Like my overhead's way too big. You know what I mean? But there is, like, for us in our area, we have a lot of handymen. And I even have an uncle. My uncle is one of them. And for a song and a dance, he'll have you fixed up. And I can't compete with that. You know what I mean? Especially with the overhead and stuff that I have. So the market's all depends, and it all depends on like what you want to achieve and how you want to grow. And you'll learn in business, right? Because you'll do stuff and you'll get blowback, just like I did. Like when I was having customers, like I started hitting like 3-6 of them in a row, and they're like, your bid's too high. And I'm like, I'm gonna have to use the other guy. And I'm like, what? They're like, yeah, you're $200 higher or whatever, $300. And I'm like, that's impossible. I'm like the newest guy in town. And so that's why sometimes certain people can get prices, or they can get material cheaper. And if you can get material cheaper, well, then obviously you're making more profit. So it just all depends on your demographic. It depends on the workload. Just like when we had the co and the vid in the 19, I'd be a millionaire right now. You know what I mean? Over whatever it was, a 6 months or a year course, instantly, just independently in the business, just selling product. If I would have had the product, but who would have known that that's what we were going to run into? Because everybody was screaming, everybody had a ton of money. Interest rates was low, things were flying off the hook, and all. Now look at things are slowed way down. You know what I mean? Like, it just all depends, and that's in certain areas. Some people are still really busy. Some people are kind of slow. So it just all depends. It's weird how the the world works. Hey, what's he got here? Evan's got, it's 11 here. I've had a few issues with Max, but after talking with Max Souls, our product before September last year, he says I have old software, so you can't call LiftMaster and get the What's that? Maximum opener. Wi-Fi. They can push new software on the maximum opener right there. Huh. 3.3 or something. New software is the 1.13. Works like a charm. New software. Huh. Oh, that's interesting. No issues yet with maximum. Probably installed 50 so far. Nice. Only takes 10-15 minutes to install. Pretty easy. Nice. Nice. Yeah, unfortunately for us with the Maxima, it's just like, you know, at least in our area, they're priced higher. And like I said, with the Genie commercial, you got to go with the top of the line for us anyways. We've had only one circuit board, you know, that we know of recently that popped up. And otherwise it's been, gosh, I don't know how many years we've been doing them now, you know, 8-10 years with zero callbacks, you know what I mean? Where LiftMaster, the commercial, the 5.0, we had a lot of circuit boards. But Genie could change too, you know, it could happen. I mean, they could start doing the bean counter. It's like that Lanier. You should watch that. I had that one I was just talking about, the bean counters, you know. I like my Lanier gate operators, but nothing but, you know, they went to a one pulley. I couldn't believe it. They always had two pulleys in there with the belt system, and that thing was chugging away. I don't know if that's going to be the new norm. I don't know if something was off. I'm sure something was off, because normally I've never seen anything chug that hard. But somebody's trying to save money, and I don't like when they change things, especially when they don't give you updates or give you like a sheet in there saying, hey, we've made a new improvement, let us know how we're doing, or let us know how it goes, or something, you know what I mean? Ooh, Kaylin's here. What's up? I hope you're doing good. Got some love. After tomorrow, I'm getting, what does this say tomorrow? I'm getting the storage unit set up that we're going to run out of. Ooh, nice. Time to build some shelves, totes. Nice. Storage unit works good. We had a guy that did it for years out of a storage unit. You know, it was nice. The trucks get in there, keeps them out of the residential area if you're trying to stay, you know, out of sight, out of mind. Output shaft. Because what's Kevin got in here? It says nice short. Output shaft was my biggest complaint. Oh, it's a 20 by 50 with garage door both sides. You can just drive through and load up. Dang, that's pretty big. That's big. Ever after. I wonder if I can. Just curious if I can do something on here. Nope. Nope. It doesn't work that way. Let's go. What's this? What's Tanner guy? It says ever after just to get started, keep hardware boxes. Oh, jumped. They were good for storage. You have any old sections, shelves, all free, just getting going. Oh, that's true. That's a good size storage unit. What did I go for in your area? My family owned one, the biggest storage facilities. Yeah, I'm kind of curious too, because that's like a weird size. That 20 by 50, is that real common? I think we got like, I don't know, but I don't know, 20 by 50 don't sound familiar around here. 275, but it's heated. Let's see, heated and bathroom on site. Dang, man. That's nice. That's what I was trying to tell, like, some of the younger lads, you know, they coming out with these, like, man caves. It's kind of what they're called. You're not really technically supposed to live in them. But I tell you what, some of these are pretty decked out. And if you're going to spend, you know, some are like I see some around $675 to up to $1,200, $1,500. And I'm like, man, if I was a single dude, like, that's where I'd be rocking it. Even if I just had a girlfriend with no kids, like, I'd be like, babe, we're going to be living in this. And I'm going to be like, we're going to get the business going. I can work on my own cars. I can have a lift in there. I can work on other people's cars. I can have my door business or whatever. Like, and then the beautiful thing is I'm paying for this thing. It's got utilities. They got bathroom. I don't know about shower. I think they do have a shower on one of them. The more expensive. They got a loft up above. Loft. I'd be just making myself a little box, whatever it is. Put a bed, TV, whatever. And I'd be living in there in silence, basically. And I would just be working on my business hardcore, just grinding every day. You know what I mean? Or if you're still working a job or whatever, that's what I'd be doing. And that way you don't got to worry about cutting the grass. You don't got to worry about all the maintenance. It's going to get plowed. That's their part of their service there. You know, and just build that business. Build the garden first so you can eat. You know what I mean? And you can take care of yourself and the family, right? And then worry about a little bit of luxury afterwards. You know what I mean? That's just me starting out. That's what I would be doing, especially these man caves nowadays, because I look at how tall they are and I go, good golly, you know, especially when you live in really cold climates, because there's nothing worse than working on a vehicle or parking a vehicle or storing a vehicle outside, and dealing with all the snow and the crap. And so if you can get it somewhere where at least shelter, get the wind off, you usually don't heat the whole thing. But even if you got a little torpedo heater in there hitting you while you're working on something, is way better, especially if you can put a lift. Oh, get that height. It's heated. Oh, figure the tundra enclosed trailer will fit just fine. Got a Tundra? Oh yeah, the Tundra is a good little truck. That's a good price. $450 a month, but heated and electric is included. Oh, how tall the doors? 12 foot. My goodness, man. Yeah, no kidding. Tanner's guy, he's like, shit, man. He says, good find. That's what I'm saying. Holy cow, man. Just living that darn thing. That's true. All right, guys. I'm getting out of here. Time to go night. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for the 17 likes. Hello to everyone. Thanks for everyone. Rent that besides and comes up, we say use for storage when trucks, lifts, and trailers. That's right, Rich B. Night time. I like the teddy bear too. That's pretty cool. All right, guys, make sure you keep your fingers. If you guys got anything, hit me up with the email, the daveadubson@gmail.com. Otherwise, if you got my number, you can always shoot me a text, send me pictures, all that good stuff. I love it all. I'm here, and we'll see you the next time. See ya. Have a good night. See you, Evan.